Hey, what is up, guys? You're watching Nerd After Hours, and today's topics are going to be we're going to talk about all the new superhero news that came in, and we're going to talk about TikTok censorship after we get through all the superhero news, because your boy got banned temporarily, post banned, for posting that cringy vampire video that maybe some of you guys saw. That's before this one. I'm still laughing because somebody told me I had a big forehead. It's like, look here, child. I don't have a large forehead. I have a receding hairline. It's a completely different problem.
Chicken or the egg?
Yeah. Alrighty. So, have you heard any of the new superhero news that's been happening?
I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna let you go off.
Oh, okay. Well, the big news is that so there's you know about the Spider-Man movie with Doctor Strange and all that. You went and saw that, right?
Oh yeah,
All right.
yes I did.
And you know that the next big Marvel movie is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
well, we just heard Sir Patrick Stewart's voice in the newest trailer, and he's being
Patrick
escorted.
Stewart.
Yeah. All right. So apparently, there's like the comic book references is that there's a council for the multiverse.
Mhm.
And this multiversal council consists of like heroes from various alternate realities. And we heard Sir Patrick Stewart, so now there's a rumor that the Multiverse of Madness is how they're going to introduce the X-Men. Because he's the guy who plays Professor X in the original X-Men movies. And there's a rumor that Tom Cruise is going to play a version of Iron Man. Yeah, he's going to play a different Tony Stark, but yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, well, Tom Cruise
Why are people still hiring him?
I don't know.
I hate him.
Tom Cruise actually did you know he got approached before Robert Downey Jr.? Like, initially, he was supposed to play?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me, honestly, but it disappoints me for sure.
Honestly, you know what I would have had Tom Cruise play if I was going to have him play a superhero? This is going to get me probably canceled by the comic books community. But because he is a short person, like, he's actually a very short gentleman. A lot of people forget that he's kind of small, like me. I probably would have had him play Wolverine, to be honest.
That's disgusting.
Oh yeah,
He is not good enough to play Wolverine.
Oh, I would have uglied him up. I would have uglied him up so much because he's like. So here's what I would have done, right? I'd have made him like do voice practicing so he get a gruffy voice, and then I'd make him like, I don't know if I had to. If I had to, I'd do like prosthetic hair, make him look all hairy and shit. Like, he'd be the ugliest version of Wolverine. Because if you ever read the comic books, Wolverine is actually a hideous dude. He is not an attractive man. Marvel, if you want a comic book accurate Wolverine, I am also available for hiring. I'm just saying. I can work out a lot and then just shave the middle part of my beard here, and boom, done. I am Wolverine. What are you looking at, bub?
You're upsetting me today.
You don't want me to talk like that for a movie for Wolverine? Like, what are you looking at?
No. Just the fact that you just so much, man. So much. Everything you're saying disgusts me.
It's me or Tom Cruise. Which one do you really want here? I'm just saying.
I would much rather you. That's how much I hate Tom Cruise.
Could you imagine? I can't imagine. Like, if Marvel literally wanted to hand me the money to work out like a madman to get the muscles for it, yeah, I would totally do it. If they were like, here's a big enough paycheck, go to the gym every day and like live off of like, chicken and apples for 6 months so you can lose your fat ass. But yeah, if they were gonna hand me that kind of money, heck yeah, I'd work out and I'd do it all. Work out like a madman, so I could have the muscles that it requires. So yeah, but that's the big rumor there is that they're gonna have Ian McKellen come back as or not Ian McKellen, yeah, Sir Ian McKellen come back as Professor X in the Multiverse of
Huh.
Madness. Yeah, because that
I'd
council,
be down for that.
yeah, and also that council usually consists of like all sorts of like heroes, like Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Doctor Strange, Namor, the Black Panther. So there's like tons of like routes they can take, and also they could show a version where it's like Black Panther's younger sister is the one who's the Black Panther, and have her be on the team, be on the council or whatever. Just to see, I would honestly, I would do that, and the reason I would do that is because just to see how audiences react. Because I know that like all the fragile white guys are gonna get mad about the idea of a female Black Panther.
See, I don't get. It would make sense if they're having the sister do it. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
that would be a great idea.
Oh yeah, there's also a new thing I've been seeing on TikTok where people are now trying to convince Marvel to recast the for Chadwick Boseman's character T'Challa. They want to recast him instead of letting the younger sister have a turn. Which is
Why?
like, I don't know.
It doesn't. I don't get that. It just makes sense to have the younger sister take over the role.
I agree with you, 100%. I think that I think the only reason that I can think of that they're doing that is because they're misogynistic assholes, straight up. They're just. I mean, come on. We saw this reaction with. We've seen it with all sorts of fandoms. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. We've already seen like there's a bunch of like angry, fragile white guys who are so mad about the idea that their favorite franchises are gonna have these people walking around in the stories, and these stories are gonna be good, and they're gonna be mad about it because there's no sitting around people that look like us anymore. Bunch of fucking fragile babies. I said what I said. If you like honestly, if you're mad about like the idea of a black female superhero like taking on a lead role in any superhero team, like honestly, you're just a fragile person. Straight up. I said
I
it.
feel that. It's true.
I mean, we've already seen how and I can tell you I mean, like, well, you can tell them too, but ultimately, they are. I mean, I don't know what it is about the Marvel fandom that is so fragile. Because honestly, like, have you seen the way that Brie Larson gets treated? Like, oh my god.
Brie Larson? Who's that?
Oh, she plays Captain Marvel. She's the blonde-haired girl who plays Captain Marvel. Yeah, and
oh, okay.
yeah, the red and blue suit, gold hair.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I went completely blank when you said that, and then I felt dumb because it's like, duh, I know exactly who that is. Like,
I mean, I don't know all the actors and actresses' names, to be brutally honest. I just remember that one because I remember like a bunch of fanboys got mad. Like they tried to. I don't know what it is about Brie Larson in particular, but I know that some fanboys got mad because she said something about how. What was it? She didn't like that most of the critics for like black, was it directed movies or movies that were created for a black audience in particular were being judged by white guys. So the idea was like, why do we not have like on the people of critics? Why do the critics not match the demographics of our society? Like,
that does make sense.
yeah.
I could see that. She's done some stuff that I find kind of eye-rolly, but I don't think she deserves like the level of hate she gets for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, because what it really just deserves is an eye roll and you walk on. You're like, oh, yeah, okay, and then you move on. That's all it would deserve at most. But these guys just get vehemently angry because she wants the critics to to at least reflect the the proportions of society. You know what I mean? And I think that makes sense because then when people make movies, you're getting everybody's perspective, or at least a fairly representative perspective, or something like that is what she was going for.
Right, which makes sense.
But some fragile white dudes got mad about it, so they tried to kill her movie. I'm not even kidding.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, back when Captain Marvel was coming out, they tried to get everybody to go watch Alita Battle Angel instead.
Oh, that movie was awful.
It was all right, I thought, but I
I
was like, eh.
hated that. I hated it. Mm-mm.
I thought it was all right, but it wasn't a better movie than the Marvel movie. Straight up, Captain Marvel was a better movie.
I never saw Captain Marvel, but I saw the
Oh,
Alita Angel one, and I hated it.
I think you should watch Captain Marvel. I think you would like it.
I I would. I haven't yet. You know.
I think you would, because there's a scene where this like biker guy hits on her, and it's hilarious. Like other people get all mad about it, they say it's too woke, but I think it's funny. So basically, like this guy pulls up this like what are you doing, sweet cheeks? That kind of shit.
Mhm.
That very blatant like sexist hitting on type of thing.
Right.
And of course, this is the '80s where women you know, were expected to just kind of take it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the feminism waves were starting out way before then. I think I don't remember. That's a history lesson for another day. But the thing that I'm getting at is like it was still like people like it was still widely accepted that men, when men still did that catcalling and shit back then. So uh, this guy's doing it to her, to Captain Marvel, and she just looks at him like he's stupid, and then she basically robs him of his motorcycle and his jacket. And she's like,
I
if you,
can get behind that.
yeah, and she's like, if you give me the keys willingly, I won't break your arm. And he's just like, it's great. I loved it. I love the whole scene. It's fan fucking tastic. Sorry,
I can support that.
and there's just all sorts of stuff like that. And then there's like critiques about the movie that are like just disingenuous. Like honestly, there are tons of disingenuous critiques. Like you could say you don't
No.
like the movie, and they're like for example, I didn't really like the movie's pacing. There were some
Mhm.
scenes that I thought could have been a little faster, and some scenes that were too slow. And I think there were some creative choices I would have gone a different direction in, like the way some of the aliens appeared. Um, but that was what it was, and it's just like so there are legitimate critiques that you can have with these movies, but I that. But
Mhm.
I just get anytime I get annoyed when they also another critique of Captain Marvel was that she's a Mary Sue.
Oh.
I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely see that a lot with like every type of female character. They have to have like something extremely distinct, or they're not liked. Like I'm not a fan of a lot of the new Star Wars movies, but I hear that a lot with Rey. Is that the problem is she's a Mary Sue, and I don't personally see that, but
That's because Rey isn't a Mary Sue at all. In fact, she got more training than the most popular Star Wars main protagonist, which is Luke Skywalker. She got more training than he did.
mhm.
And then
Yeah.
people, they have the audacity to get mad because she's more powerful than him, and I'm like, they explained why she was more powerful. Literally explained in the movie why she was more powerful. It just drives me nuts. And then of course there's the whole like her taking on the Skywalker name. Oh
Mhm.
man, have you seen the rage online from that alone? My God.
See, I don't know why anybody would be mad about that one. I didn't like a lot of the story elements they went with, like, oh, cat, get off. The fact that she randomly is related to somebody and all that shit, but
Yeah.
I didn't really have a problem with how they did her power setup. I mean, all the Star Wars movies have those scenes rushed.
Yeah. They also like, and that's the thing that always drives me nuts is like they all call her Mary Sue, but it's like, how are you gonna call this lady a Mary Sue in a world where there's people that can hurl lightning bolts for no reason?
Yeah, you got a point there.
I'm just saying, if there's people who can go, I can move this shit with my mind. How the hell do you have a Mary Sue? It just doesn't make any sense. Or a Gary Stu, because yeah, of course the sexist dudes had to come up with a guy version of it too, so they could say, "See, we're not sexist." But yeah, Mary Sue is like the biggest sexist term on the planet.
Mm.
Actually, do you want to know what
I'm
I'm? Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just say I'm fine with like critiquing like any type of character, whether it's female or not. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
more about how you do it that really matters.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that, but a Mary Sue is a very sexist critique of a character, and it's inherently done so because, like, at first it was used as a way to discount women's like fan fiction, especially when the character they would create was like more powerful than the main hero from whatever.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
it's
Stop.
literally a fan. It started
Sorry.
off as a fan. It's all good. I understand you got cats.
Cat. Cat keeps trying to jump on thing and knock over all my stuff like a poo poo head.
For a second, I thought that pillow was actually Bogart.
Oh gosh, no. It's a good jump scare. Just somebody laying in the bed staring at you
Yeah,
intently.
especially because when the camera shook a little bit, it made it look like he was like smiling bigger, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is Bogart
That's
actually here?"
creepy.
Yeah.
Nah, I wish, man. My room be cold as shit. Wow.
Is Bogart a good heater? I take it.
Mhm. You know, like the Jacob Black thing where it's like they're always warm.
Yep, I can relate. I've,
Here. Now you can have the ice cream dish.
all of my exes said
Brat.
have said that about me, that I'm like a heater.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, you know, like every type of human body is warm per se, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but still.
Yeah, but also when you combine your body heat with his, it does make a difference in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, most people are, but
Yeah, but yeah, it totally does make a difference, especially like where you live because it's cold as fuck.
yeah. It's nice to have somebody to steal the body heat from, for sure.
Well, then there's also except here in Texas where it's like get off, move like 2 inches over, Jesus, give me some space.
Yeah. This room is really bad in the summer cuz it's like my room basically it has very bad insulation. So in
Mm-hmm.
the winter it's really cold, in the summer it's really hot,
Mm-hmm.
and I have not been able to afford an air conditioning
Mm-hmm.
system, so it's like both are bad. I love my fall time where I could be comfortable for sure.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. I remember you were like talking about how like, look, I can only be naked for so long around here before I get in trouble.
Oh no.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Still
I
cracks me
didn't
up.
remember.
Ah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah,
not
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, yeah. You and I were having this conversation. It was around the summertime. You were talking about how like you've been like basically taking cold showers and like being as nude as possible, and then you were complaining about how you had to like put clothes on because your mom would come up.
Okay, I remember. It
Yeah.
does. It's something I definitely said. I just forgot that I said that. But
That's
yeah,
I I
um,
remember
I'm
stupid shit like that.
my favorite thing in the summer is just to have like a bikini on and just like constantly go in the shower every 10 seconds and drench myself in cold water, because out in the country it's safe enough that I can feel comfortable like walking around in like barely anything, but I have enough neighbors nearby that somebody could walk by. I'm not like out in the middle of nowhere. If I was, shit, when I'm home alone, I'm walking around butt naked. It's too cold for that shit. Mm-mm.
It's too warm for that shit. You mean in the summertime?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, that's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't
yeah.
it?
You're like, I'm cold. I'm gonna start stripping. Like, wait a minute. That doesn't compute.
Does not compute.
That's,
I'm
uh,
saying a dumb thing again.
it's okay. I do it all the time. It's like it's half of the things I say on these podcasts. So let's be honest.
I constantly just say the exact wrong word. I do that a lot.
Oh, I do too. I hate that shit. It drives me nuts. It's like, ah, damn it. I didn't mean to. Damn it, Brian. Think before you speak. I'm so bad at that. But yeah, like But yeah, but to get back to the topic on the superhero shit, like yeah, that's like the brand new news that I'm uber excited about it because like that means the X-Men could be coming to the MCU. And the truth, here's another thing that this is another unpopular opinion. I think that a lot of the X-Men actors could like including from the newer X-Men movies could come back and play their characters in the MCU. And the reason why I say that is because the talent is there. You know what I mean? Like these actors and actresses, actually, including the bad X-Men movies. I know everybody has an opinion that those are bad X-Men movies, but the truth is, these people could come back and play those characters again because they were not the problem in with those
Hmm.
movies. The script was the problem with those movies. I'm sorry, but everybody given what's her name, Sophie something or other, she was the one who played a young Jean Grey. She was not the
Jean
problem.
Grey.
Yeah, in the newer
Ah, it
X-Men.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm trying to place the different characters, and I'm just like
Jean
going
Grey
completely
is
blank.
the
But it doesn't matter.
redheaded mutant
Oh,
that can
oh,
move things with her
really?
mind.
People had a problem with her?
Yeah, well
I've
the
never heard
younger
that.
the younger actress who plays like that plays her. Because there are
Oh,
two. Remember how the X-Men have like a timey wimey thing going on where like they,
right, right.
yeah, where,
I was thinking of the original movies. I'm like, are you kidding? I've always heard everybody talk about how cool she was and how the actress was so hot, but
yeah,
yeah, the newer movies were different. I
and
personally
that's
didn't
what,
care for the newer movies, but
yeah.
I'm not like
Okay, but you have seen
anti
them,
newer
so you know
movies
what I'm talking
either.
about.
Yeah.
All right, so that redheaded actress is the girl, the one that actress who's playing the young Jean Grey is the one
Mhm.
everybody has a problem with. But I honestly don't think she's a bad actress or bad for the role. I think that honestly the problem with those movies was the script, was the way
Yeah.
they chose to tell the story. Those actors are all talented, in my opinion. They
Mhm.
played their roles very believably. I mean, the only one that I didn't really like was the Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique because Mystique isn't really a tragic hero. But
Mhm.
that doesn't honestly though. Like, I think they could have just had her play a different mutant because there's tons of chick mutants that aren't as popular that could have been popularized because Jennifer Lawrence is that popular of an actress.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just
I
saying.
definitely think that I didn't I wasn't against what she did with the character, but to be honest, I just didn't care for those movies. I liked the original X-Men, so I tried to get into the new ones. I had a good amount of friends who really liked it, and
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't for me. I've watched them all. I just
Yeah,
yeah, they weren't my cup of tea, I guess.
yeah. I love the symbolism with the X-Men. I love it all because the X-Men are the perfect symbolism for all marginalized groups in
Yeah,
fiction.
and that's what it was made to be.
Yeah. Everyone said, well, initially it was rumored that it was made to be like to represent the symbolism for the marginalization of black people, but I think it actually is better representative of the LGBT.
Yeah, but I think it was supposed to be just oppressed groups in general, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. It's just that like there was a rumor that Stanley was inspired by uh the like historical events that black people experienced. And that was what
Well,
like Professor X
they
is supposedly
both
like
could be
MLK.
true.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not sure. I just that's rumor.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
I was just saying like the but yeah, for sure the X-Men are perfect symbology for just all oppressed groups because the X-Men are inclusive for all everybody. Like literally, if you're a mutant, it won't matter where you come from or what your sexual orientation or gender identity is. Like in the Marvel universe, you are generally hated for being born different.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, so a lot of people who are members of the LGBT can relate to that. And, you know, actually, it's funny is I actually had this former coworker when I worked at Walmart who I asked them who their favorite superhero was, and they said Nightcrawler, and they were like, oh yeah, and my favorite thing from Marvel is just the X-Men stories in general. I was like, yeah, I looked at them and I said, do you think being a member of the LGBT might have something to do with that? Because you can kind of relate to the bullshit the X-Men have to face, and they were like, oh my god, I just got psychoanalyzed by a comic book nerd. Was the way they responded to
It's
that.
true. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You might not realize it, but yeah, that's a big part of it. I think that the like everything about X-Men is really fantastic. I think it's one of like the best comic book series that exists thus far, my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. My favorite one obviously is Wolverine.
Yeah, that one's a lot of people's favorites, and for a good reason.
I
He's
like
good.
I liked him because he's short like me. Straight up. That's why he's my favorite. I know Hugh Jackman's tall as hell, but in the comic books, I know that Wolverine's a short man. So
Oh yeah, that was one thing my brother-in-law he always used to complain about was like he's supposed to be short, and he got so upset with that, and I'm just kind of like, whatever.
yeah, but I think Hugh Jackman added a really good element to Wolverine that a lot of people like forget. Like obviously, because people forget that Wolverine isn't a hard ass all the time, and Hugh Jackman
Mhm.
does a really good job of playing the badass with a heart of gold.
Mhm.
Like he really just does really well playing that kind of role. And honestly, if they were gonna bring back like Hugh Jackman and have him play like Old Man Logan, I would watch it straight up. I would love to see like him in the MCU getting like tossed by Thor at a villain. Like it'd just be cool to see Hugh Jackman do it again because I think honestly he does play the role well. I think he plays
Mhm.
Wolverine well. He just
Yeah.
they had to also come with a kooky backstory because he's too tall, but which I was like, well, that's a little bit funny, but
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why that could be frustrating, but for me, it's like not as important as in like cast like height differences don't matter as much as like say casting somebody white in the cast of somebody who's black or something like that. Like
I agree.
especially since like that's easier to fake and isn't uh
Yeah, like yeah, you could totally fake a short person.
disturbing.
You can definitely
Yeah.
fake height.
I think it would have been interesting if they like
Oh, you know what I've
I
been
don't know,
seeing on
tried to add
TikTok
that.
would be interesting. They've been talking on. I saw this person on TikTok said they want to see like a reimagining of Wolverine if he was a Native American instead of like a white guy.
Why? I
I
don't
I don't remember what they were basically saying, but they were talking about like because he's from Canada and like what were the kind of people that were around in his area in that time frame that he's from. So it was like, okay, well, what would a reimagining of him, the story, look like as a Native American? And I was like, it could be interesting, especially because
I
it's
mean, I
like,
guess that makes sense.
and the plus, I think one of the other interesting things about it is, I think, is because like Wolverine's race really isn't tied to his character, like
Mhm.
so having a Logan who is or James Howlett because that's his real name in the comic books to having a version of him who is Native American. I mean, it could add some more depth to the character. I think because
Yeah.
like I said, his race isn't really important. It's not really tied to it. Like I actually would argue that like Steve Rogers' race is more important to him because he's like he's descent from Irish immigrants. So it's like so for Steve Rogers it's a little more important. But Captain America on the other hand, I do. You know what I mean. Anybody can put on that suit.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah, I don't know. Of course, you're also we're already pissing off all the fragile white boys anyway. We've already done that in the first 5 minutes. uh, I'm trying to think of. Oh, have you the new trailer for the Black Adam movie has dropped.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam is he's like a bad guy version of Shazam. Do you remember? Have you seen the Shazam movie at all?
I saw Shazam, but I haven't heard of Black Adam.
Okay. So in the comic books, Black Adam is like one of the earlier version roles of like all right, so Black Adam was supposed to be the guy that or he was like a guy who got the powers that Shazam has. Like
Mhm.
but in ancient Egypt and he's like a bad in the DC comics, he has played both hero and villain. Like Black Adam is more of like an anti-hero type character. Like he's actually also been on the Justice League a few times too, if you can believe that. So, but his initial creation of the character was initially to be a evil Shazam, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, he was like he had all the same powers as Shazam. Their powers came from the same place, and they fought each other all the time. And then and Black Adam doesn't like Billy, Shazam, because Billy is like everything that he was supposed to be. He's kind of a Boy Scout and all that kind of thing. He's a really he's a good person, and Black Adam is very rough, kind of and in a lot of iterations evil.
Mhm.
But like I said, in a lot more recent stories, he plays more of an anti-hero. So he's not complete. He's not a whole heart villain. Like he's not just terrorizing people for no reason. But like if you mess with him, he's not holding back. Like he doesn't care if you're a regular guy. He's like, oh well, I'm gonna blast you with some lightning bolts, and if you explode, that's a you problem. And then if you're on the battlefield and you're not supposed to be, well, again, that's a you problem. That's kind of that's how Black Adam kind of is.
Right.
Anyway, so we don't really know if he's going to be an anti-hero or a villain in this movie. It's not really clear yet. But or how he'll, I mean, he's being played by The Rock, so my gamble's going to be they're going to go more of a anti-hero kind of thing cuz The Rock just doesn't really play a good bad guy in my opinion. I should say he doesn't play a very believable bad guy, I should say.
Yeah, I could understand that.
But in the trailer we got to see some of the other superheroes that are going to be in this movie because like the Justice Society is trying to recruit him. And the Justice Society is like the prelude to the Justice League. Like they're like the superheroes from like the 1950s type of thing. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, like picture 50s and 60s superheroes, and these are in like the lore of DC Comics. These are supposed to be like, we were the superheroes back in the day, and this is like
Mhm.
supposed to be their story. And they've got like they have Doctor Fate, who is like Doctor Strange. He's like DC's Doctor Strange, and he has a gold helmet, and the costume looks really cool. And the other big reveal is Hawkman being in this movie.
Hawkman. I don't know a crap ton of these people.
Hawkman, he's only ever been seen in any of the animated series, but Hawkman is like, well, first and foremost, he's like a guy who he reincarnates over and over again, and he and his partner, Hawk Girl, have these.
Hot girl?
Yeah,
Do you mean hawk girl? It sounded like you
Hawk.
said hot girl.
I said Hawk Girl. Excuse me,
Okay.
Hawk Girl.
I'm
And
just being an ass. Don't mind me.
you are an ass, but that's part of the charm of our friendship. So at least I'm honest about it. It's all right. It's all right. I'm an asshole too. we're honest assholes at least. That's our only redeeming quality.
The only one.
It's the only one. Hawk Girl and Hawkman they both reincarnate and they find each other, and when they find each other, that's when the clock starts. Because they're cursed. So when they find their true
Okay.
love, that means that they have a limited time to be with each other, and then one of them dies.
Oof, that's no fun.
Yeah. So it's like they are cursed to find each other and lose each other over and over again.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hot dang, that's not fair.
Yeah. And the other thing is that they have these like ancient, like, it's called nth metal, and basically it like lets them fly, and like in some versions of the story, like Hawk Girl's mace and Hawkman's like axe or whatever would like disrupt magic.
Mhm.
So like if a magic user was like enchanting a suit of armor to fight you, if you hit them with the mace or the axe, it would just return to being a regular suit of armor.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like stuff like that. So it just kind of depends on who's telling the story and what. But yeah, but the big thing is that they can fly, and I think they're both like physically stronger than normal people. Not like ridiculously stronger, but like enough to make like obviously make them be superhero worthy. And so that's like the big thing there. And then like there's another superhero I don't recognize in the trailer, but she can like make tornadoes. So see, I don't know everything. I don't know all of those heroes. I mean, but to be fair, like DC has so freaking many, and they make new ones all the time. And Marvel and DC play off each other so many times, so much. It's like, golly, wait a minute, which one is that one? Is that Marvel or DC? Or I can't remember. Actually, there was a joke that I was thinking about that sometimes scares me when I think about it. Somebody made a joke to me once about what would happen if Disney bought DC too, and I went, oh god, don't even make jokes like that. You kidding me? We're basically like, I don't know what would happen if that happened. Honestly, that idea kind of scares me. Because could you imagine if Disney bought DC too? Like, you literally would see stories.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you would see stories where Batman has conversations with the X-Men.
Disney needs to be stopped.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry. I guarantee you Disney's never going to tell those 2099 Marvel stories. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, have you ever heard anything about the 2099 stories?
No.
Alright, so the 2099 stories are like supposed to be like a alternate future for the Marvel Universe. And in the future, there are multiple versions of past heroes in the future. Right? They're just made differently. Like, some of them are like for example, there's a 2099 Spider-Man he is not related to Peter Parker. He got his powers through a genetics lab. And his storyline is that like one of his business partners was jealous of him and was trying to kill him. So he put
fun. I love that.
Yeah. So basically he mixed his DNA with a spider's to try to kill him. Because when they did it to like other people or animals that they were experimenting on, it killed them. But Miguel O'Hara got lucky, and instead of it killing him, it made him Spider-Man. And
all right.
Yeah, and he's a little bit different than other Spider-Man. Like, his eyeballs are like kind of weird, like he can see in the dark, and he has like actual fangs like a vampire. So he's like, yeah. So one of the things he's kind of learned to do, Miguel has learned to do, is that he also he's kind of learned how to do ventriloquism a little bit, so he can talk without opening his mouth all the way up. Yeah. So it's to hide his fangs.
Like that.
Basically, he talks.
I get.
Like, he still talks, kind of normally, like he tries to, but he does the way he talks is to not open his mouth so wide so you can't see the fangs. So you see his lips moving, but he never opens his jaw up like this, so you can see them. Like, like when you watch me talk, you see how my mouth opens up a little bit.
No, I get what you mean.
So for him, like, you would only see something like this. He'd be like talking to you, and I'm mouthing it kind of to show you. Like, you see his mouth open up, but you never see his teeth fully. But so he's learned how to use ventriloquism in a way with that. So he can talk without... It's not really ventriloquism, but, I mean, it's like literally like 2 steps behind it, basically. So he knows how to make his voice carry, so he doesn't have to open his mouth all the way. Also, he doesn't stick to walls like Spider-Man, like Peter Parker does. He has little tiny claws that come out of his fingers, and he climbs that way. Because spiders actually have these hairs on their legs, and that's how they actually do it. So, fun facts. Also, Miguel also can bite you like a vampire and poison you.
Ooh.
Yeah, he can temporarily paralyze people by biting them. Oh, could you imagine, Spider-Man just rips open his mask, up to the mouth and just, and you're just sitting there ah! Yeah.
Why?
And apparently in 2099, everything is ran by, one company. And it's, described as evil Walmart.
I mean, don't you just mean Walmart?
I mean, yes, but for legal reasons, it is evil Walmart in the comic books. We would. That's all right. It's not like Walmart will ever, fund this podcast. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's the story of Spider-Man 2099. But the idea is like they exist in a world where like corporations run everything, and to the extreme. Like they don't even have to hide it anymore. Like how like in our modern world, yeah, we know that corporations run everything, right? But we also know that today they do it through campaign donations, whereas in that world, like they're just like, yes, we're gonna fund, Walmart is for this person. Whereas today, corporations don't do that. They just silently give their money to that politician.
Meow.
I'm almost not sure of which one I'd prefer. But it doesn't really matter because it's like one company is in charge of everything. And that's the scary part, I guess.
Either way.
There's no competition. But yeah.
Meow. Hi,
All right.
babies.
I'm ready to get mad at TikTok. Are you ready to get mad at TikTok?
Always.
Or are we going to rage against the machine? Pun intended. Alright, so as I hinted at the beginning, I'm post banned from TikTok and I'm kind of salty about it. And Carissa here has already lost one page from TikTok.
Yeah.
So I think we need to talk about where TikTok needs to improve and how one would go about doing that. So, what do you think? Where should we start?
I don't think that they should automatically take videos down until they reviewed it. See, I may even find like them putting like a content warning. Like I've seen that with some videos where it's like, this video may pertain like violence. Are you sure you want to proceed? Like they'll do things like that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But the fact that they will take down accounts, videos before reviewing them, and even if they decide, okay, never mind, this content is safe, you still have that strike on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So even after your thing's been reviewed, it is decided, okay, yeah, that's safe. You could still lose your account nonetheless, which is bullcrap. That's the biggest thing. I personally have a problem with, but
I agree. One of the other things I think is really stupid is like you kind of hit on it there, was like you're still getting the punishment even if you're proven innocent. Like,
yeah,
tons of it's almost like they're punishing you for like triggering their algorithm basically, or for
that's a good way to put it.
Or they're punishing you for making them their employees actually do their job. Is what it feels like to me too. Like a human being had to review this. We're punishing you anyway. That's what it feels like.
I mean, not to be conspiratorial, but I think a lot of it is they don't. If you're they're trying to have it so there's less creators who could get bigger, because then there's less people they have to pay. So like with my other channel, when that got taken away,
you were in the creator fund.
16th. Yeah, I was in the creator fund. I had 16 something. I had a big enough account that I got recognized in public sometimes. And I mean, I was just getting started. I hadn't done any of the withdrawals, but I still had like $50 saved up so far in there that I could have withdrawn. And since they banned me, I was never able to, I wouldn't be able to get that in the first place. And now they don't have to pay you anymore. And they also have changed things like making it so it's less about how big your videos get, and instead trying to make it so people are also donating straight to you, so that's less they have to pay you and more encouraging other people to have to pay you.
Yeah, but
they don't want to.
That's not entirely honest either, because the truth is TikTok takes a cut. They take 70%.
Yeah, you see very little of the income that you get.
Like,
But I think that's the biggest reason behind it is just financially, and also like if you're less commercially friendly, even if what you're talking about is important, like a lot of Black creators who are talking about racism and things they personally face, their stuff is generally taken down, even if it's completely PG. And I think it's because, you know, it's like, no, we would rather just keep this more of like a friendly kid thing. And you know, anything doesn't make it look bad, but it's very frustrating because there's also other creators who have been called out for pedophilia, grooming, you name it, but because their content is more commercially viable, like they just do dance videos or whatever and don't tend to talk, they're still promoted and protected, and the stuff like that they do is swept under the rug. And oftentimes if you talk about it, like, hey, Zoe was literally caught, you know, being inappropriate with a 13-year-old boy, they would still take down that video because Zoe makes them a lot of money, so they don't care that that happened. They just want to shush it up so they can keep getting the income that comes from that.
You know, I didn't want to go all conspiratorial on it, but since you brought it up, I kind of have my theories on that too. Like, one of the reasons why like my video got hit, because I was looking at that audio, right? And there are other D&D content creators who are making similar ones, you know. Some of them are even holding weapons, so it's like, you know, like prop weapons, like what I have. You know, like I have a sword that's a prop that I use for my videos.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
Yeah. And I see other content creators who are in the same line of content as I am, and that's basically what I gauge to. You know, I look at LARP content creators, D&D people, you know, sword people. I look at them and go, okay, is what they're posting okay? And then I kind of like gauge that to decide what I can post. And I see other creators making that, but they're not getting in trouble. Why am I getting in trouble? Like, it literally was the same video, too. It's the exact same audio. I reposted it with the trigger warning, hey, this has a prop sword in it, to try to dodge the algorithm, and then they still took it down. But the video I posted after that one, because I hadn't been taken down yet, also has that same sword in that video. I even am swinging it around like I'm in the middle of a fight, and they didn't take that video down. In fact, that video got 200 views, and I got likes on it. Which is very, you know what I mean? And it's just very...
bullshit.
It's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is it some rules apply to some people, but they don't apply to others? So to add to your conspiracy theory idea there is, I think it's not... I honestly do think that it is to a point. It's about keeping creators like me down. Because they're like, well, we already have popular Dungeons & Dragons creators. We don't need you here. You know?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. See, I found, like, as much as I still want to, when it comes up, talk about important things, oftentimes I just try to keep it simple because, like, I don't want to have to start all over again. And I've got to the point where I'm just, you know, I'm not going to try to make a living off it, so it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because I just don't trust it. Like, I'm afraid of, like, going really hard on it, and then once again you have to start all over again. And that just, yeah, it sucks, but what else are you going to do?
Yeah. And I feel like I have to use TikTok because I am trying to make it as a content creator, just in general, you know what I mean? Like, mostly for Yu-Gi-Oh, let's be honest, it's my most popular platform, but, like, you know, if we're gonna be honest here, as someone trying to make it in this realm as a content creator, I have to use TikTok as a tool, at least to drive traffic. Yeah. And that's the really frustrating part to me, is that, like, I have to use this app. Like, honestly, if any other app did this to me and I wasn't trying to make it a job, I would just stop using it. Straight up. I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah. You don't want me to make content here, clearly. So I'm just not going to. And
it's frustrating because I truly love TikTok. It's how I've made a great deal of friends. It's how I've learned new things. It's a great way. Yeah, it's a great way to interact. And I love, like, and I constantly see them doing things that I truly like. Like, oh, you can now like tag your other videos, so it's much easier to work on series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so many things about the thing itself that I love,
Mm-hmm.
but it sucks because there's people who own it behind it that are corrupt and are willing to do things that suck, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, and I'm not even. And truth be told, you and I know this, and it's very public that I don't. I've already told you several times in our private messages that I have no intention of actually joining the creator fund on TikTok. I would much rather
Yeah.
just push the everybody out to other places to support me, because
Hmm.
I know what TikTok does to the people who do get in the creator fund. And unless you have a million followers, there's no point. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
it's true.
if you better have at least a million followers if you're going to enter the creator fund, and maybe you'll make an
Mm.
extra couple $100 a month or something. Like, there are big time TikTok creators who don't even make that in a month off of the creator fund. Like,
It's basically scraps. That's all you're going to get from it, let's be
what's
honest.
her name? TikToker Howdy, I think is her name. Let me look it up. I have my iPad open.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I think it's Howdy. Yeah, her name is the Howdy y'all is the name of the page, right? And they're a college student
Hmm.
that I follow, and because they talk about mental illness a lot, and I found that to be a very fascinating topic, and they talk about their own, so it's kind of interesting, kind of insight into it, because this person like actually grew up in a cult, so they talk about that life experience from time to time, which is the reason I followed, because
Yeah.
you know, so she's a very interesting content creator, right? And she also talks about LGBT issues, and I find those things fascinating. But I remember that she did a video recently where she talked about how much money she actually makes through TikTok, and she's talking, and she mentions it's like less than $50 a month, and the chick has 1.5 or 1.5 million followers, and she's making like
Yeah.
$50 off of TikTok a month. Like, that's it. That's chump change. It's literally like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
literally. Ugh.
yeah, which sucks cuz they're making a lot of money off the creators,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't make a difference. They're still not going to
Oh yeah,
help out.
and then Hank Green, another popular YouTuber slash content creator slash author slash TikToker, comedian. I mean, the
Hmm.
guy's got a list of titles, but the point is, the another prominent figure in the online communities, Hank Green, talked about like if TikTok paid their TikTokers like YouTube pays their YouTube people. Uh,
Hmm.
any TikToker with a million followers would make at least a couple $1,000s a month. That's
Yeah.
that's enough to live on by itself. Like, they were talking about, some of them would make upwards of like $20,000 a month, based on and he was talking about like just he was using his own analytics, but you get the idea. Like, could you imagine making $20,000 a month? Oh my god, I can't imagine making that in a
Yeah.
year. I can barely manage just like picturing that in my head for a year's worth of money, much less a month's.
It sucks. It sucks and
I
it's not fair.
I agree. TikTok, and I'm just saying, like, and here's the truth is, like, most of us are just wanting TikTok to be more fair. Like, honestly, if they had the tip jar, and instead of it being like 70% or whatever, if they just flipped it to like 10 or 20%, I would be like less likely to gripe about it. I'd be like, okay, well, I guess they can have a cut for providing the tip jar, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be less. I would find that less egregious. I'm not against the idea of the audiences doing it, but also TikTok should pay their content creators.
Right. See, like, I'm fine with it being like you have to work at this for a while to make anything, and it not just being like anybody can walk in and make a bunch of money, but it's
Right.
the fact that it's it's just really abusive looking at how much they're making off people and the fact that they're not like sharing any of that with the people who are making their money for them.
Mm. Yeah.
It is bullcrap.
I mean, and don't get me started. I could do the same
Mm.
thing. There's also things I could critique about YouTube, to be honest, too, on the front of money. You already know
Mm.
my beef with them right now.
Oh yeah.
I have been working so hard on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel For those of you in the audience who don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube changes the rules to get monetized often, and it's very frustrating. Now, this channel isn't worried about that. This is just kind of me and Carissa's place to talk about nerdy shit and, you know, maybe talk about some of the problems in the world that not only we are experiencing, but maybe we're seeing other people experience too. You know, that's what this podcast is. We talk nerd stuff and like IRL stuff, but and those connections sometimes. But the you know. So this page, we're not too worried about it getting monetized. You know, if it got monetized tomorrow, me and Carissa would be like, woohoo! But you know, you and I wouldn't be like, we wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be. It's not our end all goal here. It's just a place to post our thoughts, really.
Yeah.
And
do you want to see the sim I just made for you?
Sure. You made me a
Here,
sim?
just as a fun. Yeah, I was bored and I was like,
It's because I'm talking. It's
there you
go. I'm complaining and being salty. You made. Oh my goodness! It looks just like me.
I was trying to think of like who to make next. I didn't. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. Already modeling. There you go. I just thought that might
like
be fun. Because
I
was like, I'm making you rich in this game, so.
Oh, my dreams.
So that you can live out your dream. I think I might switch it over and make it so we're roommates. That way I can take your money.
I wish, honestly. I honestly do. I'm not even kidding. I wish I was your Richmond roommate. Straight up.
That's the thing. You gotta play Sims so you can live out your wildest fantasies.
My wildest fantasies.
You should, when we're done with this TikTok topic, I could tell you all about the drama I'm creating in the Twilight family.
Ooh.
It's really great.
I like the idea.
It's great stuff.
We can go to that one next. But yeah, like honestly, this is gonna probably get me in trouble. But this is like what I was thinking to myself was like, man, I wish for the TikTok drama. This is because I think about all those content creators who've been screwed over by TikTok, like Scotty Wartooth. I think there's one. I think her name is Tay-Z. She's a member of the D&D community. She dresses like an elf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she also is a part-time OnlyFans girl. You know, like she's in general, she's just a content creator across the board, right? You know, but on TikTok she does Dungeons and Dragons content. And I'm pretty sure her paying job is that she's an OnlyFans creator. And TikTok has banned this person like twice. Then they got their account back because, Scotty Wartooth, being the hero that he is, who's also a member of the cosplay / D&D community, used his like 5 million or 9 million followers now to keep coming back from the dead. Because TikTok has tried to ban Scotty like several times, but because he has so many followers, they keep emailing him and he keeps coming back. Like the dude's been literally got banned 9 times and came back 10 with the same account.
That's great. Oh, I wish. I need that energy in my life, man.
Same.
I love that.
Fucking same.
I love that.
But here's the sad part, right? Like the guys like Scotty only get to do that because he has so much support. Like even if I don't know, I don't remember how far you are right now, but I've got 700 followers now. How many do you have now? Like 1,000 or something, right?
2,000 something. Not a lot, but like a good amount on this second one I've worked on. Because I had that one video go viral, and then I got quite a few.
Yeah, you got... Oh, wow. Really? You're almost at 3,000 already? Goddamn. You're at 2,615. I'm impressed.
I'm a girl. All I have to do is show my boobs, and I get followers, because men are stupid.
I'm just kidding. I would never follow a person on TikTok because they
Shut up.
I would never.
I can see into your soul. Shut the fuck up.
I'm a thirsty bitch. Leave me alone. Oh, look, water.
I know everything.
I think I'm funny. That's all I'm saying. Hey, look, if nobody else is gonna think I'm hilarious, I can think I'm hilarious, and that's satisfying for me. But But yeah, I was trying to say it's like, but yeah, and yes, you're right. It does help that you have, yeah, that all that going for you. I imagine.
I'm just joking, but that's just been it recently because I really haven't been making content as much as I used to because I haven't had as much of the inspiration as what I did before. Um, not to be dramatic, but I've been a little depressed lately,
Mhm.
so that takes away my funny side. So I honestly just haven't been making like I used to. So it's more like my cats are cute. That's the only thing I'm going to post about today. Whereas
Yeah.
before I might do a lot more talking. Usually when I talk,
Mhm.
I get a lot of angry men in my comments and I get a much more uptick in female followers. But generally if I'm just like hanging out and doing whatever, then guys are like, "Oh, you have nice boobs. I'm going to follow you." And that's like the only kind of comments I get. So I'm a little salty lately, but you know, could be worse.
I could use some thirst followers, boost my ego a little bit.
That's true. It does help the ego flow when you have people complimenting you all day.
I'm just kidding.
It's like that TikTok audio. I'm so sick of men, blah, 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 whatever. Nice tits. Thank you.
No. Is that a real audio? I haven't come across that. Oh my god.
I try to remember how it goes, but it's like a clip from a movie. You know, the girl who
Oh yes, yes,
plays
yes.
in the Chucky movie? Yeah.
Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Yes. She says like, "Why don't I ever get any of the good roles?" And then the guy says, "Nice tits." She's
Nice
like,
tits.
"Yeah." She's like, "Thank you."
Thank you. She's not even upset. She's just sort of disappointed, and I love that. I love that so much.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I forgot. I was sitting there like, "What are you talking about? What?" And then you remember the Chucky actress, and I went, "Ah." The light bulb clicked on. It's more like a spark in a puff of smoke, but you know, close enough.
Household member.
Just. Oh, nope. Yep. I know what you're about. Got
Hmm.
just enough juice to get that brain going. Anyway. But yeah, like, but yeah, like the whole Scotty Wartooth thing. Like seriously though, that guy literally is TikTok Jesus, and he gets attacked because right wing Christians are pissed off that he makes jokes with his Jesus character.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that guy. I know exactly who you're
Yeah,
talking about.
he's TikTok
Yeah. Oh my
Jesus.
gosh. I don't get why people are so bad. It's like, oh, how dare you call out my. Just like, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, it's stupid. And like I really do wish that all of us in the D&D cosplay LARP communities, like comic book communities, all of us just kind of got together to like help each other out. You know, like all the nerd communities just could band together and say, "No, TikTok, you're not going to ban people for stupid shit. It's just not going to happen." Like, and here's the reason why Tay-Z gets attacked all the time is because like she is a sex worker.
Which is so stupid. Like, that should not matter. Like, I always hate that that's the only thing I don't like about, like, when it comes to doing any form of sex work is just, like, not, just, like, having that become your entire identity. And it's like, oh, you're not allowed to have interest or do anything else outside of that. So it's like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks because it's like generally people have multiple interests and that should be okay, but
Yeah. And nerd
and it's
communities
just like you're
especially
not
should
allowed.
be
And it's like
inclusive.
even when it comes to sex work, like a lot of the like OnlyFans girls who are on TikTok, they don't even mention that. Like if you go and follow them on Instagram, you might see
This.
something on there where it's like I'm that, and so it has nothing. Literally, their account has nothing to do with that,
Mhm.
and they'll still get banned, which is
Yeah,
complete horseshit.
I
Which is
agree.
I've had that before. I think that might have been part of what got my other one taken down. Is that was when I started to do stuff, and it was just like all of a sudden overnight you're gone, and it's like this shouldn't matter because nothing I've made has to do with that.
Right. And
And
that's
even
the
if it
thing.
does, as long as you're not straight up posting pornography, who gives a shit? You're not
Exactly.
allowed to talk about your experience. If you're a doctor, you're going to talk about your experience being a doctor.
Yeah.
If you're a stripper, you're going to talk about your experience being a fucking stripper. Who cares?
Yeah. There was a person I used to follow before they got banned, and that was their whole thing. They were a stripper
Mhm.
talking about the life experiences of being a stripper, and it was fascinating. I was like, "What?" But then you got guys like Charlie Classic who he makes jokes about, you know, he doesn't have, you know, like he's like a Confessions of a Strip Club DJ. Yeah.
Right.
And he doesn't get shit for that. Or he probably does. He does have like 10 accounts across the board. Like apparently him and his friend Lydia, who is like also a sex worker, they have like 10 accounts on TikTok between the two of them. And the idea is like, and the reason why is because TikTok keeps taking them down, you know, because they keep getting reported for bullshit. And it's like, and that's the thing, that TikTok needs to be fixed. Where, because I think conservatives have too much power on TikTok.
Yeah, I have noticed that, especially if it like comes to girls.
Oh yeah, and like the other, and it's like conservatives and Karens that have like way too much power on TikTok, and that's the reason why we have to like for example, you know, like there are LARP people who have to be very like have to put trigger warnings. Hey, we have prop weapons in here because, you know, you got too many Karens who are all like, what if my child sees a sword? Oh my god.
Maybe don't let your child on the internet unsupervised.
Yeah,
Like
that's what
that.
I'm
This
thinking.
is a brilliant. Instead of like, I always hate that where it's supposed to be the content creator's job to like fucking parent your child. It's like, no.
You
How
know,
about
yeah,
don't just like give them a phone unsupervised?
I
Like
agree.
it's like, oh, Cardi B's making all our girls sluts, and like Cardi B doesn't make music for children. You fucking LARP.
Exactly. But I'm 100% with you. It's like, why? And I see that critique all the time in all sorts of media. They're like, oh, it's too violent. It's too violent. Well, it's not intended for your children. You know, like it makes no fucking sense. Like it's like getting mad at a movie like 300, saying it's too violent, it's too sexual. But that movie was made for grown-ups. It doesn't matter if the source material was a comic book or not. It's literally rated R. It means not for children.
No, I'm sorry, I can't read, so I cannot comprehend the fact that I'm not supposed to show this to my child. So I'm just gonna become angry at you. Like there was one time, I had Hulu going, and my nephew's in the room,
Mm-hmm.
so I threw on a random cartoon because I wanted to have something he could watch going,
Mm-hmm.
and it ended up being like an adult cartoon. I didn't realize till I started swearing.
Mm-hmm.
That was my fault for not checking it clearly. I'm not going to go and then be mad at Hulu and be like, oh, your cartoon had people swearing. I'm like, no, me being the person watching the kid, I need to be more careful and double check what I'm putting on. You know, that's like, that was my fault. And my, you know, my action is like, oops, I need to double check that. Not, oh, I can't believe they put an adult thing here. It's like, no, that's your fault.
Maybe if we're gonna have spaces where adults exist, maybe should be the parents' job to like police that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's one thing
definitely.
like for example, it's one thing to get mad at YouTube if like porn ended up on like YouTube Kids, the app
Yeah.
that's like for children, right?
Mm-hmm.
But TikTok isn't age restricted in any form or fashion. It's not meant to be just for children. It's meant to be for everybody.
If they decided to like make a separate form of TikTok where there was like child section, that
Yeah.
might be one thing. Like say you were making content that wasn't completely PJ in the child section,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not currently. TikTok shouldn't be an app for children. It's very obvious now that it's more so adults that gear towards that. And I'm sorry, like no social media thing should be for kids. Like because like I think it's fine to make separate like
Spaces.
limited stuff, but children, but like that shouldn't be everybody on the internet's job to fucking babysit. That is up to the parents.
That'd be like if we were to say that nobody, like for example, and let's face it, we all both know Karens who are like this, who are like, oh, because children watch TV, nothing on TV can be more than rated G. Like that, there are literal Karens who want to do that, who want to say that nope, nothing can be more than PG or G or whatever, because children exist. Like that's like,
stupid.
It is stupid, and there are people that are like that though. And it's like they want to make the whole world just like this sunshine and rainbows place, and I'm like, no. You know, some of these stories,
it's not realistic.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not realistic. But some of these stories are also meant to convey a very. I lost that die. are meant to. Yeah, I was playing with dice at my desk because I'm an adult.
Oh,
Anyway.
I don't give a shit.
But
I'm literally playing Sims and creating a world where I'm friends with all my roommates, and that's what I'm doing for fun. Because I can't just sit here and just talk because I have ADHD and my brain is stupid.
I'm just glad to be included in that roster. I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna say this. It
I'm
made
also,
my day.
yeah.
It made my day. That's all I'm saying.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
I
figured.
did. It gave me the warm fuzzies. I was like, my friend made an avatar of me. That's how it was on the inside.
You're gonna be in my little Sims world. We're gonna be rich roommates. It's gonna be great.
Day is made.
I'm also adding Canadian Carolyn's fake Canadian boyfriend in this, and I'm just gonna literally call him fake Canadian boyfriend just so that I can show it to her later and be like, "Ha, what do you think of this? You can't do anything about it. You have to like it."
If he must have a name, we'll come up with a really silly one.
No, it's just gonna be Canadian boyfriend, like first and last name.
Hi, my name is Canadian, last name boyfriend. What's up?
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing somebody like going, like he's in the middle of a line. I'm like, I have a pickup for boyfriend, for Mr. Boyfriend, and him just like, oh, that's me. Hey.
Yes.
I don't know why I made him like the Fonz. I don't know what that was about. Like just doing the snap.
I'm gonna give him black nail polish and everything. I'm bullying her so hard for having a crush on an emo right now. I am such a great friend and not a complete asshole.
To be fair, like I also like have a crush on alternative women. To be honest.
Yeah,
they're
but
my favorite
I
type.
find him cringy because he's like so serious all the time, and there's a difference between like just liking certain things and just like making it your entire personality. Like, like he'll snap her and he'll be like making this serious face, and you'll see like the black nail polish on him. I'm just like, you're so eye rolly.
I'll show you
But,
something eye rolly. I'll figure that out later. Anyway. Oh my goodness.
Oh, god damn it, Bogey!
What did Bogart do?
He can access this, and he's now renaming my character for me.
Oh no.
he. There he goes. He's okay. No. I had a name in mind. Stop it.
What did he rename him? I can't see it.
Sad Boy 27.
Sad Boy 27.
Bogey, get out of here.
Bad Bogart.
You have your time. You have said that is kind of funny though. No, it's still Canadian boyfriend. Go away. My name's funnier.
My name's funnier. I love it. Oh my god. But yeah, back to the TikTok thing. This was actually what I was muttering to myself the whole time. I was sitting there just wishing that I could hack TikTok and kill that algorithm. Like straight up.
Right?
Like literally, I wish I was a white hat hacker and could just hack the TikTok thing, find the little automated algorithm that's like, oh, this is clearly like encouraging people to do self-harm, and just like, oh, I'm gonna harm that algorithm. Just delete it from the entire system. Just watch TikTok lose their fucking minds. They're gonna have a person check every single thing.
How do you spell Canadian real quick? I don't have spell check on here.
Hold on. Siri, spell Canadian for me. Okay. CANADIAN.
Okay, I see what I did wrong. I was like, I know something on here isn't right, but I couldn't remember it. I didn't want to exit out of my phone. Okay, thank you. I'm all done. I'll stop interrupting you with my Sims escapade.
It's fun. I just had to, oh shit. There we go. I'm glad I didn't have any pictures pulled up. Anyway.
I wonder if Bogey's still on here.
But yeah, It's all good. It's funny. I don't think anyone will make it this far anyway, because you know how it is. You and I will talk, ramble, and then 2 hours later, we'll be like, oh yeah, we probably should stop talking. You know.
Yeah, I've already decided, especially since I slept all day, I'm just not going to bother sleeping tonight because I have work at 7 a.m. and it's a holiday. Dunkin' Donuts, Valentine's Day, it's going to be
It's gonna be lit.
awful. Maybe it won't be that bad because it's a Monday, but I'm telling you, like, Saturday when I worked there, it was fucking jam-packed. We literally had an entire counter full of orders because there was like 10 tickets that printed out all at once. So I'm just like, not risking it.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: since it's Valentine's Day, and since you have a boyfriend this year, I didn't bother to give you anything. I decided.
Oh, thank you.
I decided. All right. Well, now it's Bogart's turn, and but Bogart has to live up to me. So if he doesn't at least write you some poetry, he's in the doghouse.
I don't know if I'm gonna get anything like traditional for Valentine's Day because we're not gonna be together.
Okay.
I did send him something. But we do have next month. I asked for the day ahead of time. We have a whole date weekend planned, so I'm gonna have to drive all the way down there. But it's fantastic. I can tell you about it because I'm actually really excited with how extreme it is finished.
Well, you can tell me about it when we're not recording because we don't want Bogart to get any sneak peeks. But
I'm talking about like what he planned.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, why is it not letting me move in? God damn it! Sorry,
you didn't pay the rent. Duh, you gotta pay.
I wanted a fully done house, and now it's making me start from the beginning. Because I'm not a huge fan of the building part. I like the interacting with people.
Yeah.
So I found like a big giant house for us to move into, and it's like, no, you have to start from the beginning. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Sims.
At least we're next door to the Goth family.
There we go. Oh my god. But yeah, like but on the subject of the TikTok thing, like honestly, I really wish I could. And it's not that and I don't really like the idea of having to do something like that, like hacking TikTok to like restore accounts that shouldn't be banned in the first place. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like the idea of having to do that. It's just that the truth is, like, because I know those employees are underpaid and overworked. I guarantee you TikTok's employees are, like, actual employees are underpaid and overworked.
I think it's the system itself, because you have rich assholes. Because TikTok has gotten a lot worse since it was sold. Because remember, during the Trump administration, he was going to try to ban TikTok because he didn't like that they were bullying him.
Yeah.
Those pesky teenagers. So ended up having to get sold to
or partially so
a rich asshole. Yeah. So now we're dealing with that version of things,
Yeah, which I think is the other part of the problem is I also think that, like, whoever that guy was a Trump supporter. I do remember that. So I think
I think that's why it's preferred in the algorithm and whatnot.
Yeah, even TikTok's even been pushing like conservative stuff to me, and I don't follow conservative creators. Like if I know, like I even block conservative creators. Like if you have like Trump in your bio or in your profile picture, I straight up just block you. Like straight up,
right?
I will not deal with them being in my audience if I can avoid it. I don't care.
I've done it.
Yeah, I don't really, and I've straight up will do it because like anytime I get an influx of followers, I look. And I literally will block them because I'm not going to have racist, homophobic, misogynistic people in my crew. It's not going to happen. Just straight up. Like, that's just how I am. Like, I don't tolerate that shit. All right, I don't. If I wouldn't tolerate it in me, why would I tolerate it in other people? Yeah,
that's true. That's a good way to look at it, actually.
And that's the truth because like I have said dumb shit, like what those people have said, and I have lost friends because of that, and I think some of that was part of the eye-opening thing. Like you and I, the stories, the private stories. I've lost friends for stupid shit that I've said, and I deserved that, and because of that, it's been an eye-opening lesson, and go, oh, I can't tolerate that stuff, and And the truth is, I think we all have to be like that. We can't tolerate that stuff. And then it forces those people to rethink their worldview and go, well, I'm losing people I actually care about. And if I don't want to keep that happening, if I don't want that to keep happening,
That keep happening.
if I don't want that to keep happening, I have to change.
Right.
Now,
I agree.
and that's how some people are. Like in my case, I didn't have to lose those friends to change that, but they felt that that was what needed to happen. But I don't fault them for that though. Everybody's got to do what they think is right and what's best for them. So, being like, I've been on the other side of that. I've been on the other side. Trust me when I tell you guys this. If any of my audience members happen to be riding on the fence between conservative and progressive, let me tell you right now, you will be a lot happier on the side of progress. Because it's like there are so many things that are hang-ups that you will let go of because you will realize that they aren't actual problems.
Yeah, you got a good point there. I agree anyways, but then again, right now I'm kind of a yes man right now. Not on purpose, but just like, oh wow, yeah. I'm like the Pete Davidson stereotype.
So
I'm just like, I agree with everything.
I could say anything. Okay, cool, guys. We need to stop wearing pants.
Yeah. Fuck pants. Why are you wearing those?
Yeah.
Quit it.
We're going to be
silly.
like, it's time to start wearing kilts in public now.
Honestly, men who don't wear kilts, I think, are actually secretly gay, and they don't deserve rights. And that's not just my opinion; it's facts. You look it up on the internet.
We're gonna use Ben Shapiro tactics now.
Look here, if you're not gonna do this the way that I think that it needs to be, then clearly you're just wrong, and you're a dirty leftist, and I hate you, and you don't deserve rights.
That's literally
you tell him.
That's literally like every Ben Shapiro news thing, speech, everything.
It's like, if you don't agree with me, you're not a real man, okay? Because clearly, I know exactly what it means to be a real man, okay? Now, if you excuse me, I have to go back home to my doctor wife, who probably has a secret boyfriend, because I don't know how to make that poontang wet.
Secret girlfriend, come on, get it right.
Oh my god, it'd be fantastic. I would love if that came out. Oh my god, it would make my fucking day if I found out that Ben Shapiro's wife was cheating on him with a woman.
Yeah. Normally, I'm not happy to hear about somebody getting cheated on. That's like, oh, it's one of those things that are never funny, horrible circumstance. But in that case, hell yeah.
I think guys like Ben Shapiro have earned that shit. Okay, I don't want to be like pro cheating or anything, but people like Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump, Lindsey Graham, all these Mitch McConnell. I'm sorry, but if their partners cheated on them, they had it coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had it coming.
I don't care. Oh no, the bigot's wife did a oopie with another girl. Oh no.
Oh no.
Like, I don't care. I don't care. You deserve that shit.
Oh my god. I don't know if it's just fantastic. Especially like there's just something poetic about it, because like that those guys are like those types of men, like the Ben Shapiro types or whatever, are always like, oh, I'm just so awesome, and and my macho manness is so awesome. But secretly, and there's just something poetic about the idea of like someone that they view as inferior is like the person that their
partner is choosing to be with.
Yeah, it's just poetic justice.
Yeah, it is. It truly is.
Like, think about it. Like, you have conservative exes who are dudes who probably think they're like alpha males or whatever, and they guarantee you they look at Bogart and go, "He's like such a beta. Why is she with him?" Ugh. They probably say, "Oh my gosh!"
Like I've had like people message me stuff like that. Like, no, they'll originally be like, "Oh wow, yeah," they'll be completely cool with it until like he'll say something, because he'll get in internet arguments all the time with people who are saying, whatever racist, homophobic stuff. And then I'll get messages about the beta male and all that stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, go away. I don't really care about what you have to say. I don't respect your opinions.
Do you get these messages often? I'm just curious.
Not generally, because I'm not posting about, him that often,
Mhm.
but like when I do, I get it often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have seen some DMs that you've shared with me where like people will comment like stuff like that he's a beta or whatever. And
Yeah,
like and they
yeah.
like try to convince you to like break up with him and shit. And I'm just like, are you fucking like what? You're a stranger on the internet. What power do you think you have in this person's private relationship? Like
See, like I'm all about like people coming to you because like if the person I'm dating is doing something that I don't know about, that's shady, like because I've had a female friend do that to me before, like
Mhm.
message me like, hey, I thought you should know this, here, like he's cheating on you, here's the evidence. And
Mhm.
I've never been mad at that person. I've
Right.
thanked that, I've been like, thank you so much for enlightening me, and I'm going to now dump this person, thank you so much. Like I've never
Mhm.
been like, oh, fuck you for showing that to me. But I always love it when people try to do it because they're too beta, and I'm like, what? I don't give a shit. I like women. What do you mean?
I don't know. I had somebody tell me that
That is not a problem.
I agree. I had one
The
person
more
try to
feminine, the better, if anything, In my case,
I mean,
like that's not,
speaking
like,
of
oh
that,
no, he's not a homophobe. I gotta go, man.
I've already had people on the left and the right tell me that I am less of a straight man or whatever because I've said that I will date like trans women and like
The
feminine
horror. You like
feminine
any type of
non-binaries.
woman? Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
How
especially
beta of you.
well, all right. So conservatives will say that I'm less straight of a guy, or I'm not straight or whatever because I'll date a trans girl, right, and not care. Like if I find her attractive, I don't care if she's had bottom surgery or not. I don't care. All right,
Hmm.
I just do not care. If I find her attractive, that's good enough. If I like them as a person, that's good enough. And then I've also had people tell
Hmm.
me that I'm not quite straight because I'll date a feminine leaning non-binary person. Basically, what that means is
What?
all right. So for
What? Who cares?
yeah,
Who
like for example,
cares?
if I date a non or if I find non-binary people who are, you know, that have like who are very like femme presenting, I'm apparently less straight, and I've had that people who are progressive people tell me that, and I'm like, okay, and I don't care.
God, that's so stupid.
I just don't care. Like if it makes me less straight, okay, fine. Then I guess I'm not the straightest white guy in the world. Oh no.
If anything, oh my God,
like you know
mm-mm.
what? Great. There's too many straight dudes in here anyway. Let's.
God. I always love, like, I don't know, just the idea of gatekeeping that too. Like, sorry, you're not straight enough for my cool kids club. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to find the
Mm.
right camera angle. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's completely stupid. Like people give me I've been given shit for saying I'll date a trans. Like, all right, for example, I had a buddy of mine who was like talking about how I won't go into the specifics of the conversation, but we were talking about
Hmm.
like what if we were dating found a person attractive who was very feminine, but we found out like downstairs they had like both sets of equipment, right? For the hypothetical. Because like, there are people who exist. They have both genitalia.
Yeah.
It's rare, it's extremely rare, obviously, but it has happened. And I was like, well, if I had a partner like that, I'm like, I wouldn't care. And he was like, yeah, I just wouldn't touch the boy parts. And I'm like, what? Dude, how much of a fucking homophobe are you? I'm just not gonna touch the gay parts. It's so stupid.
I mean, sound logic, I guess, though, if you're really, it's a bit silly, but,
I just kind of looked
better
at
than
him like,
committing some hate crimes.
yeah, that's true. I guess I guess points for the bare minimum, I guess.
I love a good points for the bare minimum. It's my favorite game.
There's so many. Oh my god, it's like, oh well, at least he's not beating him up, okay. But like,
Jesus
oh
Christ.
my god, like the bar
I
is
am
literally
officially canceling you.
the bar is literally on the floor. Is like literally the point I'm getting at here. Just for the record. Gentlemen, if you've made it this far, not only are you a champion, but you need to take my advice when I tell you this. Listen to the female peoples, okay? The bar is literally on the floor. They've been telling us this for forever. You need to pay attention. Now, I'm talking to you, Steven. Pay attention. Now there's
I am too busy scratching my balls. Fuck you.
Now there's going to be a rumor that you're a trans man.
There already has been. Remember
What?
when I was posting... Remember back when I was talking about Desperunia and, like, the different treatments, because I had gone through it, and I ended up getting, like, a lot of female.
Oh.
And people... And they were like, no, the only reason why you'd have that is because you're a dude. So, like, and I didn't really care, because it's like, oh, I'm either a female or I'm a trans female. I'm like, so I just didn't really bother... Like, just because I just, like, I didn't care. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I don't give a shit what a homophobe thinks of me.
It's fantastic.
But, yeah, that was a big thing was, apparently I was trans because I had Desperunia, and I just...
You know what?
It was so stupid, man.
You know, I've been seeing an uptick in that kind of behavior. Like, all right, so, because I obviously follow tons of different types of creators. But especially women creators, I've been seeing a lot of women creators who are cis women getting accused of being trans women. And it's very
All
strange.
you have to do is have an opinion that guys don't like, and you'll get called that. And it's like, it doesn't really hurt my feelings because I don't really give a shit. But it gets annoying now because I constantly get asked, like, if I'm a trans dude because I have short hair. It's like, women can just have short hair. It doesn't determine like your thing, and it gets kind of annoying, but for the most part,
like, well, there was this one particular content creator I follow who she literally was like, why don't you just check out my Twitter and you tell me? She's also an adult content creator, and on Twitter she is like, you know, bearing it all, and they're like, I don't know, do you think I'm a dude? I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, maybe it is some kind of brilliant like tactic where it's like, haha, if I'll call them that, maybe she'll show me her titties, but it's like... Oh my god.
That just is like that. I'm like, well, never mind. It can't be that. You know why? Most men aren't that intelligent. I straight up said it.
Yeah.
If you're a dude, you're mad.
You got me there.
You're that smart. I honestly... But especially when it comes to like that kind of like that line of thinking, I'm sorry. Most men are just not... We're like cavemen in that department.
You're right. I can't believe I gave men.
Yeah, we can't. What are you doing? Giving men credit for things? What's wrong with you?
I'm so sorry for even attempting to think that maybe there might be somebody brilliant enough to be that manipulative. Oh, silly me.
I'm just saying. I've never met a smart, horny man. That's all I'm saying.
You got me. You're not wrong.
So if somebody ever screenshots this one, that one's gonna get me in trouble. I'm feeling some conservative be like, screw you. Hold on, we gotta do it right.
This guy is not a real man. Okay, see, he clearly thinks that we're all stupid. Okay, and the truth is he's projecting on a conservative men who are the smartest men.
I could go on forever making fun of Ben Shapiro. The man just makes it too easy. He's a walking joke. Like Ben Shapiro is just... I get cracked up at that guy all the time. Like, he acts like he's like one of the alpha dudes or whatever in like his own worldview, right? He's like, I'm totally one of the alpha dudes. Like, bitch, please, in your own worldview, you are beta as hell. Look at you. Look at you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, man.
Like, literally, like, you could just take his whole worldview, flip it on its head, and watch him go,
what? No, I'm totally an alpha.
Like, no, you're not. You want to know what by your own worldview, the only alpha dudes are like, you know, gotta have like a 12th level intellect, which that's a comic book reference, and gotta have like, you know, rippling pectorals and be like 8 feet tall.
The Megarod quote. Yeah. You're supposed to have rippling pectorals.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, they all gotta look like Hercules and be, you know, Like that's it. Like that's the alpha dude. You're like 6'5" and 800 pounds of pure muscle, and everybody else is just a beta. That's literally the worldview of conservatives, which is hilarious.
Hello,
because
sir.
he demands attention, but this
my
isn't
cords.
but this isn't a toilet. What is he doing?
I know, it's been so surprising lately. He'll cuddle me. Maybe it's just when I'm sitting now, because lately he's cuddling me when I'm playing on the computer.
Mm-hmm. He's like, pet
His favorite time is. Yes, I know, you're such a baby. All right.
All right, so
I'm gonna make you our personal chef.
I can hear him. Damn, he is loud.
He's a baby.
He is a loud purr. Your
He's
camera
a
is
baby.
moving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
This
okay.
is what I was worried about. Is that he's like gonna drag it.
Yeah, I was just letting you know.
Let go.
I mean, your camera's been moving a little bit as we've been progressing. Like I've been moving my window all over the place.
Sorry.
It's
You need to chill, buddy. You need to chill for me. Can you just do that?
He's like,
Can
no.
you chill?
I need the love. Pets me now.
All right, let's get you a job.
Oh my god, he's so loud. He purrs so loud.
He's a baby. Oh my gosh, he is such a dramatic little baby.
He purrs more than Cece does, okay? Let me tell you that much. Like, Cece rarely purrs with me, and he only purrs, like, for a minute. Like, you know what I mean? He is definitely more loving than Cece. I can tell you that much.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, he is a big baby. He loves his snuggles.
Cece, and you know what Cece is? Cece's kind of weird. Like, he actually, most of the time when he wants to spend time with me, he doesn't even want me to hold him or pet him or anything. Most of the time. He just wants to be, like, on my bed hanging out.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's definitely not Mittens. He usually just wants to be on top of me, purring, getting all the attention. He loves his attention.
Yeah, Cece.
He's an absolute baby.
Cece does want it sometimes. Like, sometimes, like, and also he always wants it at the most unopportune time. Like, it's like, bro, I am literally in the middle of editing a video. I do not have time to pet you.
That's Cece, like, with the toilet, 'cause it's like, I love the snuggles, but, like, when I'm taking a shit, I would like to be alone. Like, that's just my personal preference. That's the one area where, I just want my alone time. And he's just like, no, I'm going to be right here with you.
Yeah, right now Cece's probably pissed off because I have the door closed, so he can't even get in here. And you know what? Also, my parents have told me this, that Cece will sit in front of my door and stare at the door, like, just sit there, like, do the cat thing, and he'll stare at the door. Like, if I stare at it long enough, it will open. So that's something apparently my cat does. He stares at the door and waits for it to open. Like, it's very strange. He's an odd one. But he's my cat, so, he's my buddy.
Oh.
I don't know. I've grown really attached to them. Like, honestly, like, I don't really get attached to animals because, like, I've had too many that I really liked pass on me, and I've had that. I'm also very, like, one of those people who I just don't bond with animals.
Really? Oh, yeah. I can't relate to that. Well, I cannot.
It's because of childhood disappointment. Like, when I was a kid, too many of my favorite dogs passed away on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was 7, my first dog passed away because he got hit by a car. And I declared vengeance on the person that hit him. Not even kidding. I remember I was 7, and I looked at my dad, and I said, I want to know who did it because I want to kill them. I was 7, wanting to kill somebody because they hit my dog with a car. It was probably my dog's fault, realistically speaking. My dog probably ran into the road like an idiot. And I was 7 years old wanting to kill a complete stranger because they hit my dog. And they probably felt bad about it. I mean,
yeah, but you should still, like, tell the people that the dog died. I'm kind of anti whoever hit your dog.
Well, we don't really know who did it or when, or, like, and plus it's, like, also, like, in my particular neighborhood, it was kind of hard to tell, like, whose dog it is because, like, they didn't have a collar with a ID on it or anything. So even if Like, how do they know that the house that they're in front of is the one that actually owns that dog, versus the other 3 or 6 houses? I mean, honestly, if a dog doesn't have a collar, it could be anybody on the entire road. What are you gonna do? Go door to door? Hey, I hit this dog. Is it yours? It's a little, it's a little unrealistic to think about it now that I'm an adult. But 7-year-old me was like about to pull a, what's his name from Princess Bride. You killed my dog. Prepare to die. So
good.
yeah, that was 7-year-old me was ready to declare vengeance on somebody. Then the next dog.
I love that. Not that your dog died, but just your attitude about it.
Yeah, I loved that dog.
That's beautiful.
He was a lassie named Tip.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Should I cause some drama here?
Yes. The answer is yes, always.
I'm gonna make Canadian boyfriend hit on you.
I like it.
He's gonna offer you a rose.
He needs to. He's gonna have to He's gonna have to be a femboy though for me to be attracted to him. Do with that.
Sorry, you're not. You can't. I made him nice and buff because Carolyn likes her muscles.
Oh well.
Oop oop.
He's gonna be disappointed. There's only room for one stereotypical male in this relationship. I'm sorry.
No, you got to deal with it. It's too late.
It's too late.
You're not gonna. I'm gonna make sure you don't like him back, but I'm going to cause trauma because you can't just. I can't just have like a happy couple.
You're right. Make a love triangle.
What do I want to make?
You should make a love triangle situation. Like, I give a rose to Carolyn, and she doesn't care.
Ooh, man, you're gonna love what I've been doing with the Twilight characters, man. When I tell you what I've been doing with the Twilight characters, you're gonna go ape shit. You're gonna love it.
Oh my goodness. Well, why don't we go ahead and go for that then? I think I'm done ranting about TikTok, and plus, in about an hour, I think I'm gonna be unpost banned, and like.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like Monday, I think it's done and over with. So. Which I will. I'm gonna probably remake the TikToks I was gonna post anyway because TikTok got a new filter that better suits my vampire character. Because I've been using. That's good. Yeah, I've been using the vampire eyes filter, right? So let me go to effects over here because I actually have I have a bunch of saved preferred effects, so I can find the ones I want to use. And the one I have is called Spooky Eyes. We've been seeing people use this, but they've been only using the yellow ones. But if you tap, if you tap on the screen, you get red ones. They're in the same shape.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, so I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna use the Spooky Eyes filter for my character instead of the Fire Eyes one because that one just kind of makes more sense. I mean, the only reason I was even using the fire eyes at all is because when you're not blinking, they look like like when the lights on, like at night, when the light gets bounced off of a predator's eyes, and they got that kind of glowy look to them. Yeah, that was the only reason I was even using the fire eyes at all. So now that we have spooky eyes, I have like literal like reptilian, almost cat-like like red eyes as a filter to use, so I'm uber excited about that. So I'm probably gonna reshoot.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I don't get it wrong. Just because TikTok post block me doesn't mean I'm gonna quit TikTok. They can suck an egg. I'm not going anywhere. In fact, it almost kind of makes me want to like be more successful out of like pure vengeance. If that makes any sense.
It's the dog. It's the tracking down the dog person all over again.
Yeah, it's the same energy. It's literally the same energy. Holy shit!
I love it. I love a petty bitch. I love a petty bitch. I also love a bean. Look at how cute she is.
Oh, adorable. We love kittens.
Look at this baby.
So cute.
Are you my little baby?
You have so many cats right now.
2 of them have a home, so Dora and Patch are now called for, but I still have, I have 8 kittens. I still have 6 kittens right now. Look at, oh my goodness, baby, you're so cute.
You kidding me? I wish your manager was a nicer person, because I guarantee you, if you could just bring a box of kittens to work, they could all get homes like that.
Oh gosh. See, I honestly enjoy the fact that it's harder to find homes for kittens because that means I get to keep them longer and I have an excuse.
Yeah, but you need to get your kitties fixed because your mama kitties are like,
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I mean, I've been definitely saving up my monies, so hopefully it won't be too much longer until I can get them fixed cuz
Yeah.
that's my thing is I hate having to give them up.
Yeah. Plus, let's face it, you're gonna be happier when it's just Carolyn and her mom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, yeah, it's all about cuz I hate having to give them up, you know.
Hmm.
That's the part I don't like.
I get it. Trust me. I mean, come on, with my visceral reaction to pets, believe me, I get it. The second one that I was really close to, he passed away from old age, and he was my grandmother's dog. His name was Buzzard, and he lived for I remember him. He was around like ever since I was a baby, and he passed away when I was 13.
Mhm.
And he was like the only other dog I really liked. And he played
No.
with us. Like, all right, so one of the things that Buzzard would do, he was a Boston Terrier, and
Mhm.
what he would do is he would chase you if you wanted. You were like, oh, oh. He'd go, oh, we're playing, and then he would chase. Like, he loved kids basically, and he would chase you. And then when you would jump on my grandmother's bed, right, he would jump up there, and then he would grab your shoe, and he'd go. He always went for the shoes. Like your foot when it had a shoe on it, he always would go for it. He'd just, but if you weren't wearing shoes, he wouldn't go for your feet. Do you know what he would do if you weren't wearing shoes? He would run up and lick your face.
Aw.
Yeah, that was his thing. Or if you had a ball, Buzzard loved to chase balls too. Like anything, frisbee, a ball, baseball, all of it. So cute.
You're so sweet. You're my sweet little girl.
She's a
Here.
little bit whiny though. She's kind of like, oh, put me
Yeah.
down.
There you go. There you go.
She wants
Nice
booby
and
time.
happy.
Nappy booby
They
time.
love their booby time. They gotta have that. They gotta have their booby time. They know. They know.
Oh my goodness.
And I know that they know.
But yeah, so that there you go. That's the whole reason why I have trouble getting. And then the last dog that I actually liked was Rookie, and he passed away by getting hit by a car, just like Tip.
Oh.
I know. And he was the smartest dog that we ever had, because when he needed to go outside, do you know what he would do? He walked up to your fingers, like he would walk up into one of your fingers and he would grab him around one of his canines like a hook, and he would drag you to the door. So one of the things that you could do with Rookie, which is so cool, I wish I had this on video, is I could say, hey, tell me what you need. What do you want? And he would either take you to the door, or he would take you to the water bowl, or to the food bowl. And that was his way of telling you what he needed. If you wanted to go outside, he would literally grab your finger and pull you to the door. Like, how cool is that? Like, you literally could do this. You just held out your finger like a hook, like this. And he would literally grab it and bring you wherever he needed it. It was the coolest thing. He also played fetch. You know, he also liked to chase. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like have you chase him or run away from him. His favorite game was to, like, grab one of his chew toys, right? And you would, like, run around in the kitchen, right? And hide behind the thing, and then he would bark. Like, I know you have it! Give me my ball! It was the most cool thing, and I miss it still.
Aww.
Yeah. And I haven't been attached to a dog since. But now I have CC, and I'm uber attached to him, so I know when he goes, it's gonna drive me crazy.
Aw. I always hate that.
It's the worst time of being a pet owner. It's like the worst time is when they go.
Yeah.
You and I know that.
I agree.
We're all too familiar with that one.
Keeps hacking into my computer.
Is Bogart messing with your Sims?
Yes. He keeps it's his way of saying he wants attention.
He's like, hey,
like, I'm busy.
We're doing
I'm
podcasts.
done with I'm done with homework. You're supposed to pay attention with me. No, I'm busy.
Like, look here, Bogart. We're working right now, okay?
I'm a working woman, okay? I have my priorities straight.
Oh my god, that's funny. This Bogart's just sitting there like, well, you'll talk to Brian, but where's my I don't think he's that petty.
I've been talking to you all day. You can wait another half hour.
I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Bogart's the jealous type. Like he just doesn't give off that vibe to me. Like he's like just like,
Nah.
oh, you're hanging out with Brian. Okay, cool.
No, he's just the attention seeking type. He's got to have attention.
You kidding me? I would love to be roommates with you and Bogart and Carolyn. I think it'd be hilarious. Because Bogart's gonna be like, look, we can't do a D&D campaign with just me and Brian. Come on.
Oh gosh, that's honestly the most accurate depiction of it. Because Carolyn would not be interested. She's like, fuck off. I wanna play Fallout.
Oh, so she does have a nerdy side to her, just not for that kind of thing. Not for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. She loves Nathan For You. What's that? I don't know. She definitely has her interest of things that she's into for sure.
So like I guess like maybe it's the only thing that the four of us could actually do is like go see a Marvel movie or something. I'm guessing. It's probably like the only thing that all four of us could agree on.
Right. That's definitely her thing. She loves Spider-Man.
She's got good taste. You know.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it could be worse. She could like Batman or something.
She's. Hey, what are you saying about me?
I'm joking. Are you kidding me? I'm such a superhero nerd. I like just all of it. Okay, like literally my favorite superheroes are Superman and Spider-Man and all these, and I like all the truth be told, actually, when it comes to Batman, this is gonna sound bad, but I think I like all of the sidekicks more than I like Batman himself. Like, I'm sorry, I just find Nightwing and Red Hood more interesting characters. But you can't have a Nightwing or Red Hood without Batman. Like, he is that integral to their characters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he's kind of like the dad that they both have a hang-up with. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just like, they can't decide whether he's a doting or abusive father. It's kind of a weird.
I love my dad, but sometimes he wants me to beat up poor people who are in an insane asylum. I don't know how to feel about this.
Exactly. And then there's a whole other like dynamic to it. Like when you got like Jason who's just like, well, I could just kill them and solve the problem. What do you mean I can't just kill them? Because he's clearly got issues.
Not good, buddy. You can't do that. Stop it.
Like Jason and Damian.
Silly Batman.
I honestly, that's the only thing. That's the best part about Batman. Also, is like the family comic books that have been coming out recently. Like those are some of the best things ever. Like because like I love the idea. Like honestly, like let's face it, Jason, Todd, and Damian are gonna be like the siblings that get along. Because Damian's like, I wish to cut them up with a katana, and Jason's gonna be like, I wonder if I can. Maybe if we do it fast enough, Dad won't catch us. And we won't get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, I picture, like, that kind of dynamic.
Uh-huh.
And then you got Tim going, you idiots, you cannot chop up an entire gang in an hour before Dad figures it out. Because he's being practical. And then you got Nightwing, who's, like, basically almost a co-parent, almost. Because he's, like, the oldest. So he's going, I'm gonna have to cover for these morons again. Did you guys learn nothing from my example? Like, the only thing we know how to do looking at you, Dick, is how to hit on women. Alright? And that's not exactly helpful in this particular line of work. Like, and then there's, like, online jokes about Tim Drake having a caffeine addiction. So he's just sitting
I could see that.
Are you kidding me? I don't even want to see what the bill for the coffee alone in the Bat family is. All right, because every one of them is drinking coffee like a madman. Every one of them. Especially Bruce. I guarantee you he has coffee every other hour.
Me. I can get down with that. Here, what I do is make coffee all day, and I'm allowed to have as much free coffee as I want.
Mm-hmm.
I still come home when I have a cup of coffee at the end of the day after coming home from work. Even though I literally get endless free coffee while I'm at work. Doesn't stop me. I need it.
I know, it's so bad. I have the same problem though. I'm naturally a night owl too. Like the only reason I even switched to daytime at all is because I was gonna be babysitting, and the kids can't be night owls like me.
Ugh, I feel that, man. I feel that.
We can both relate to babysitting our nieces. Oh my goodness. I have to.
Well, yeah, with a job now, I'm naturally like. I had after I got done with work Saturday, I stayed up till 3 a.m. and I spent all day today sleeping. That's naturally how I want to function.
Well, the truth is,
and
actually,
I have to fix that,
yeah.
so I have to wake up at 7 a.m. for work. You know?
Yeah. Well, what?
No, I have to be there by 7, so I have to get up at like 5.
Yeah. What's your What's your ballpark for work? Actually, ballpark figure. You're usually like what? You got to be there around anywhere between like 5 and 7.
Yeah, I try to be there by 6:30, so I try to get up at 5 a.m.
Okay, so ballpark figure, you have to be up around 5, and then you leave probably somewhere between noon and 2 o'clock, correct?
Yeah, a little after 2 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark, right? Well, realistically, you could come home and go to bed after work, and then be a night owl that way. It'd be a little bit weird.
I have done it sometimes, but
because you come home.
I try not to because it's healthier, quote unquote. But
yeah, basically,
I definitely don't like it.
Yeah, it just basically means that you're not available during like the dinner time hours. So like know, so like basically, and it probably would conflict with Bogart's schedule because I know because you got to talk to the partner. That's important. Got to maintain that. Yeah, I mean it is. I'm just being straight up, like nobody wants a partner that doesn't talk to them, or you have to play text tag with, wait several hours.
No, I'm just saying
to get a response.
He's an attention whore for sure. Like that's like because people like I definitely don't think it's a bad thing, but that's always the one thing. It's like I want attention 24/7. So that's his thing. Is like that's the only time like. If I'm home and I'm not paying attention to him, he's like, I know she's playing Sims, so he'll get on there and he'll like annoy me until I text him.
I mean, it does kind of work a little bit. Gotta give
it does. It does. I'm
credit where it's due. It's effective.
It's like so funny. He's grown to hate The Sims because I do it too much. Apparently,
you're obsessed.
I'm obsessed. You're not giving me constant attention. It's like I will be back. I promise. Don't worry.
All you gotta do is just send him a booby pic. He'll get over it. I'm just picturing him be like, "Why don't you?" I'm just saying.
Men.
Appeal to the caveman brain. He'll be quiet for a minute. He'll be like, "Here's some boobs. Be quiet." And then I'm just picturing Bogart like this. That's literally laughing. Just him like a drooling idiot. Oh god, my brain's a funny place sometimes.
You're not wrong about that though. You do understand men, so
perks of being one and all. Although there are days where I kind of like want to lean more to non-binary, but that's just because of like I have to deal with all the idiocy that comes with my gender, and I just sit there like, oh, why are we so dumb? I'm sorry, Studtile, tell me I'm wrong, but collectively speaking, men have done enough stupid for me to go, oh, why are we idiots?
The truth.
Stop me when I lie. I'm sure there'll be some white guy who, if he made it this far in the podcast, would love to tell me how wrong I am. But luckily for me, he'll have to go through like almost 2 hours worth of conversation to get to this point, so I'm not too worried about it.
It's not worth the work.
Exactly. That's the best part about these podcasts, in my opinion, is we talk about the main geeky stuff at the front. We get to like, one of the main points that I want to get to in the middle, because I'm kind of like want to rage against something, and then at the end it's just kind of whatever the fuck we want to talk about, and then and that's where all the good stuff happens.
Yeah. Oh, I need to tell you about my Twilight drama I've made in here because I'm
All right.
a menace.
Let's go for it.
So,
we'll cap it off with the whole episode with Twilight drama. Let's go for it.
Okay, so I initially made Edward first, and I made him a young adult, and I made Bella, and I made her a teenager. Well, I can't have them interact till she becomes of age, so I made it like creepy age gap to begin with. So when she became of age, I had it so they got married, right? And then they had a baby girl, and of course I named her Renesmee. Then I made Jacob, and I made it so he was next door neighbors with them.
Okay.
And then as soon as he became of age, I made it so Bella cheated on Edward with him, and then kicked Edward out of the house. And then they proceeded to have one little girl and triplet boys. And now I'm going to be a menace and make it so she then cheats on Jacob with Edward, leaves him again for Edward. And then as soon as Renesmee becomes of age, I'm going to make it so Renesmee and Jacob end up together. And it's been a drama-filled mess. It's absolute chaos, and I'm enjoying myself.
I almost feel like this is way more of a train wreck of a story, and might be a better story than actual Twilight. I just almost want to watch this train wreck and be like, and everybody just.
And Edward's now living with them, taking care of their children.
So you basically got Edward like taking care of Jacob.
So he's their nanny now. And he has to sit there and watch his ex-wife, like, have sex with the young, hot, buff Jacob.
Oh, my God.
I'm having a great time. Having a great time, man.
It's a train wreck from hell. It's literally a train wreck from hell. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I love it. I'm having a great time. This is what I do all day.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's not the weirdest
thing
I've heard of. I mean, come on, like, we already saw what somebody did with Twilight fanfiction. I mean, they literally made, like, 50 Shades of Grey and made everything about it boring. Like,
at least
your story is a little more interesting, and probably doesn't take away the vampire werewolf aspect of things. Let's be honest. At least if you were writing the story, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to let him keep that part in, because that's what makes it interesting. Could you imagine this? Oh my God, that poor lady having babies with a werewolf and a vampire, and like think about those powers manifesting in a 2-year-old. Oh my God, you literally just see like I'm literally just picturing like a 2-year-old 1 second, and then the next second you're staring at a wolf pup, and you're like, what the?
But I still love that triplets with Jacob, man. That's harsh.
Dude, that reminds me, actually, about how, like, Edward, like, referred to Bella's potential children with Jacob.
As puppies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
puppies.
That is, like, so that is such a subconscious, like, or maybe not.
That feels racist. That feels racist.
That's what I was trying to aim at. I was kind of going, ooh, I mean, it fits a little bit when you think about, like, the time frame that Edward is from. It kind of fits, like, he would be a little bit. But it's just kind of
gross.
It is gross, but it's just kind of
I'm team Jacob all the way, so I'm punishing fake Edward for real Edward's crimes.
I mean, like, truth be told, like, it's also kind of funny is like the idea like polyamory could have kind of like fixed some of their problems. Like, honestly,
I really want to see polyamorous Twilight where they just hate each other and they share Bella. Yeah. I think that would be a way better story.
It would be an interesting, and also like, but in the story, like Edward is actually kind of open to the idea. Like he actually kind of mentions it in a way.
He was the one who brought it up. Yeah.
So it is kind of, I mean,
Bella did not have it though.
Yeah, but the truth is, like, if Bella did have feelings for Jacob in that way, it would have worked.
She does.
She does. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read the books. So
she talks about. I mean, it's like up to opinion in the movies. It's pretty much like she said it multiple times too, where it's like I love Jacob, I just love Edward more. Yada yada.
Yeah, I just remember.
Garbage.
Yeah, I just remember in the books, like I always took that more of like a brotherly love, and less of
Uh-huh.
a romantic love. I guess maybe that was just my bad interpretation of it though. Like because sometimes you do that. Like
It is like a friendship romance, which is like that, but I don't think it makes it so it's like less valid that way.
mhm.
But you know.
Ooh, you want to know what's also kind of weird? When I was a kid, when I was in high school, like I cast various friends as those characters.
Oh.
Yeah, all except for Edward, because Edward was just like this kind of like gaudy character in my head. So in my head, he was just always my head always made him like an anime person for some reason. I couldn't wrap my head around a human being that was described to be as pretty as Edward was described in the book. So I was like, it's too fake. We'll go with an anime person. So I literally just
That is like something Stephanie Meyer has talked about. Believe it or not, she always pictured like Twilight as an anime rather than
no,
like
like
traditional live action.
yeah, but like
Sorry, I just thought you'd find that interesting.
that is interesting actually because that kind of makes sense why Edward is kind of described like that to me. Because he just in my head he's just kind of like an anime-esque person. He's too pretty to be like a real person. So
It's true. Yeah.
and then but like for like I remember casting like various friends in the roles in my head. Like I literally had a classmate that was like that reminded me of Bella, and in my head when I read the books, she was the face of Bella in my head. Because she was kind of like because Bella's kind of described as kind of mousy and quiet, and she was mousy and quiet. And I knew I had a friend in high school who was a blonde, well, platinum. She was a fake. She dyed her hair blonde, but in my head, she was, she was kind of mouthy and very like strong-willed. And I was like, oh, there you go. There's Rosalie right there. Yeah. And it was just kind of went like that in my head for everybody. And then, like for example, I had some classmates. I didn't have any Native American classmates, but I did like have some Hispanic ones that I was friends with. So in my head, all of the werewolves look like them, with more muscles. Yeah, that was how my head did it, because I didn't have any Native American classmates. So that was how my head did it, and just to give those characters a face to people I knew. It worked. Got me to read the whole damn story. Although I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you just meet people and they just kind of fit, like they can play that character in a movie.
Yeah, I honestly am not a big reader though myself, so I can't fully relate to it.
I mean, I read a lot of stuff, but also like the other problem is like if I've watched a movie before I read the books, then now those actors replace them. Or the other thing that I've done also is like, for example, if there's an actor that I think of could play this role, like for example, when I read Frankenstein back in the day, like because it was required reading in high school, we had to read Frankenstein. I cast what's his name, David Yost as Victor Frankenstein in my head. So, the reason why is because David Yost plays the Blue Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the Blue Power Ranger, in one of the Halloween episodes, dressed up as as Victor Frankenstein. Yeah. So that was the reason he was Frankenstein in the book for me, to make it interesting, because the Frankenstein book is it's a great book, but it's a slow read. Like that beginning, you have to get through so much stuff at the beginning. You're like, oh my god, I do not care. And some of it is relevant later in the story, but So, is that all of your Twilight drama, or do you have a?
Yes, that's all. That's all of it. I thought that you would find that entertaining that I did all that.
I was very amused.
I'm just being extremely evil in this timeline.
I'm ready to see what the rest of the family views this. I'm ready to have some Emmett commentary. And
some Emmett.
Yeah, we gotta have some Emmett commentary, because I feel like Emmett's gotta look at me making jokes at Bella all the time. So so which one's got the better It's the rest of the game. I'm just curious. Like, tell me that's not something he would
That
say.
would be Emmett.
Like, yeah.
That's 100% something he would say.
He'd be like, so
for sure.
Who's got the better thrust game, my brother or Wolf Boy over there? It's gotta be Wolf Boy, right?
I mean, no offense to Edward, but
No
he's
offense
a
to
little
Edward,
bit of
but,
a
you know.
shrimp. No. Well, being extremely offensive.
Exactly. That's exactly what Emma would be like. I still to this day am confused how the hell Emmett and Rosalie work as a couple. It still baffles
Are you
me.
kidding?
It still baffles me.
Are you kidding? They are the perfect couple.
He's so
Opposites
friendly
attract to
and
the
nice
extreme.
and makes jokes, and she's like a stick in the mud.
Exactly. Okay. Here's the thing. You need that outgoing, bubbly person for the other person because he's the one who can bring her out of her shell. And
But
he
she
understands
doesn't let
her
him-
and
but
knows
she-
to not push her.
Except she doesn't
Yeah.
let him bring her out of the shell, like, ever. She's like, no. In fact,
That's not true.
Bella was better at getting her out of her shell than he was.
I definitely disagree.
Oh, we're having a
I
Twilight debate
very
now.
much- I very much disagree, man. I love them. They're my favorite Twilight couple for sure.
I think
That's my dream. That's my dream setup.
I think that the other fun part about their coupling is, like, I also find it very funny, like, how, like when they talk about, like, when they first got together, how they were like just insufferable to be around.
Yeah, I can see that, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
they're
I don't know,
great.
maybe
I
it does
love them.
work. Maybe it does work, and I'm just not giving it enough credit because, like, I just look at him and think, like, he's so bubbly and friendly. Like honestly, Emmett is that type of guy. Like, he honestly is. Like, I could see him even being in the school, like, hanging out with, like, the science nerd, just being nice. You know what I mean? The guy,
Yeah.
like, he's like, oh yeah, I totally should be on the football team, but I'm gonna go hang out with the quiet kid in the corner. You know?
He's like that. Yeah, he's a good boy. I love my Emmett. He deserves everything.
Oh yeah.
Emmett is my boy, and I love him. And
Why? You know what's funny is, like, why are some of the side characters, like, the most likable characters in the Twilight universe? Like, honestly, I like Alice and I like Emmett more than I like any of the other characters in the entire stories. I also like what's his name, Seth, the young werewolf kid. I like them too. He's just so friendly. You know.
yes.
All right. So what about you?
I would love to see Twitch streamer Emmett, who is like doesn't keep it a secret that he's a vampire and doesn't care.
You know what would be funny is if they actually did that in Twilight, right? But here's the thing: nobody actually believes Emmett's a vampire. They just think it's all a game. They just believe it's a gimmick. Well, but he's like legit sharing vampire secrets, and they're just like, whatever, man. Oh yeah, that's Emmett, man. He plays a vampire on Twitch while he plays video games.
Yeah, I love Emmett.
Oh my god,
I love him. He's
Dude,
a good boy.
That's his screen
He's a
name.
good boy.
That's his screen name. I love Emmett because he's like.
I love him. He deserves everything. I would give Emmett endless pie. He's a good boy.
And then, like, I could just picture it. Like, I also, that's another thing. Like, I wish that, like, honestly, if you were gonna retell the Twilight story, Emmett is totally a gamer.
Yes.
He totally is. He's totally
He's a gym bro and a gamer, and I love him.
Oh, also, and his favorite video game are, like, the sports ones. Like, he totally wants to play basketball or football through the video game. And then when people ask him why, like, dude, you're a vampire. Why? You could actually just be good at those things. And he goes, yeah, that's the reason why. Because it's a fair fight. In the video game. Like, think about it. It makes sense. Like, if Emmett was a pro football player, he would win every time. His team would win all the time.
There you go. See? Yeah, Emmett's a good boy.
So he plays.
I love him.
So he plays football because we already know it's canon that he loves sports. That's what he watches on TV all the time. He does love sports. So it makes sense that if he was a gamer, he's playing basketball and football because it's the only way he can play with other people and it not be, a guarantee that he's gonna win. In fact, it might be a detriment. Like, he's always breaking his controller and shit. Like, somebody gets a good move and he goes, ah, dang it. He's got, like, a drawer full of them. replacement controllers. Like, ah. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not. I love him.
You know what? Also,
That's
though,
the only thing I have to say about Emmett is I love him.
oh, and like, oh, and Alice. Alice has like, I picture her area has like a witchy vibe to it. Like a TikTok witch. Like, yeah, she's got like crystals and incense in her room, and she's like,
Yeah.
scrying.
She'd be
and
into
stuff.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd be into it.
And then you've got like Jasper, who's like, who I want to give more character development to. Honestly, because the dude's like stiff as a board and boring, and frankly, he fought for the Confederates, so I kind of want to see him like reading books by like black authors all the time, so he can like unlearn those behaviors. That's
yeah,
right.
I'm not too. I honestly, unpopular opinion, I'm not a fan of Emmett or not Emmett. God, Jasper
yeah.
or
Carlisle.
Alice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't like Alice either? I know you.
I'm not a big Alice fan, especially since she's so like dismissive of that stuff. I have a lot of reasons why I'm not a huge Alice person personally.
I just think it would be like. Also, it's like I said, we don't really get to read too much into like Jasper because he's very one-dimensional. Like Jasper, all we know about him is that he fought in the military and that he's been in vampire wars, and that's like literally all we know about him. We don't know anything else about him. We know he's polite. We know that he's a very polite and quiet person.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of polite, nice racist. What do you mean?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. That's what I'm getting at. So like, I think it would be really interesting to have him reading like books all the time from like POC and LGBT authors, because he wants to like make sure that he never reverts back to that version of him that fought in the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Like
that would be nice to see, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just want to give him more character development. Like I want him to like I want his favorite music to be rap music. I think it'd be hilarious.
That'd be interesting.
Like
yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, like he loves like rap, blues, rock and roll, everything. Like that's what he likes. I'm just saying, like, think about it. He still has the long blonde hair. I'm just saying. You're gonna tell me in the '80s he wasn't headbanging? Tell me he wasn't. Give him some character. Like he's the inspiration for the vampires from the Lost Boys movie. Somebody, yeah, some Californian, young Californian director saw that and went, that guy. That's the guy I want to be the inspiration for my vampires. Like, I'm just saying, she could have, like, Stephanie did not give him enough character development to make him a fully fledged person.
There's a lot of racist stuff in that movie. Not movie, books, movie. Yeah, in general. There's a lot that needs work.
Yeah.
The movie fixed some of the problems, but in general,
yeah, I just
not good.
I want to see the books that Jasper reads. I want to see the movies he likes. I want all of them. Actually, truth be told, the whole family. I want to see what do their bedrooms look like. What do how do they, also like there are things like there are modern things that exist now that actually make their story more difficult. Like, for example, like with social media. Social media was in its infancy when the Twilight movies were coming out. Like people had Facebook, but it was, how hard was it for you to like, delete a Facebook page back then? It wasn't. Now you could delete your Facebook or turn it off. But now we have like Google doing facial recognition. So if somebody like Googled you, like say what Bella did when she was learning about vampires.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, Edward's face would pop up with like 12 different accounts, Facebook accounts now. All with different names.
Oh my god. Oh, I would love. Yes, I would love to see that.
Or they just couldn't have social media. And then that's a completely other problem. Like, because that's going to trigger other people. Like, well, why don't you have social media, Edward? And he's going to be like, well, you see. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, he'd have to be like Bogart does. You know how, like, Bogart has a TikTok account, but he doesn't post?
But doesn't use it?
Yeah. Basically, that's what all of the Cullens would be like. They'd be like, oh, I would love to post it, but I can't because, Or they all have private TikTok accounts where like the only people that can get in there are other vampires. Like there's a whole like secret section of Facebook that's just for vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how crazy would that be? Ooh, I just came up with literally just came up with a book series on how vampires would get caught. Wow.
There you go. Get writing.
I need to
Book
write,
number 2 now.
I need to write this story right now.
Come
Literally,
on,
like,
use those writing skills for some truly deep, juicy drama.
some compelling storytelling. Oh my god! Like, literally, I just figured out like how interesting. Like, but there's a story right there. Like, think about it. Like, in a retelling of like a Twilight-esque story, you would have Bella discover vampires through social media.
I love that.
Because
I love that.
Also, when you think about it, when you look at how Bella is described, kind of being kind of pale already, and kind of ghostly, through a screen, she could be confused for being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And voila, oops, I accidentally stumbled onto the Vampires Facebook group, IRL Vampires Facebook group, and it's full of real people that are actually vampires. Like, nobody in the group's a fake except for Bella, and voila, there's a whole story right there. Like,
I love that.
There's a whole
that's
section.
like do one of the like basically what Jay the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing, but instead of
being sex,
making
it's
a fan publishing, it's just rewriting Twilight, but just slightly tweaking it enough that you can't get sued.
Yeah, exactly. So I change all the characters' names.
Yeah. Instead of Bella, it's Isabella. No, or not. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of Edward, it's Edwin.
Where it's like, we know what you did. Stop pretending
I almost want to do that. Like, instead of Emmett, it's Emirate. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, just changing the name slightly. The only thing that would make it better is if I somehow could get, like, all those actors to come in and play some of the characters. Like, if it ever got a movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe not have Robert Pattinson playing, like, Edward, right? But have him playing, like, Bella's dad. You know what I mean? Or have, like, the actor who played Emmett come in and play my version of Carlisle. Oh my god. How much of a slap in the face would that be to Twilight fans? They'd be like, what the hell is this shit? I'm like, it's basically the same story, just updated.
Yeah. I love that.
I mean, like, literally, that would be like, think about this, like, there's a whole section of TikTok that's like actual vampires. Like, the only way you find it is through that Facebook group.
I love that.
So, like, the vampires, like, that's how they find their TikTokers that are for them. So, like you find out, like, Emmett has, like, 100,000 followers on TikTok, but they're all vampires. Because his account is private, so nobody can see it except for his followers. And since they're all vampires, they're not gonna, you know... Like, and they stitch stuff, too. Oh my god, it'd be great.
Oh my...
Like, they still, like, how funny would that be? Like, the vampires have all the same drama that humans do. Like, could you imagine, like, and then you have, like, Jasper. Like, we're gonna have, like Jasper, because we want him to be a protagonist and an antagonist. We're gonna have him, like, learn about, like, unlearn his racist ways. And then he goes on there and, like, berades a vampire who used to be a KKK member from the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Like, no, are you kidding me? Back in my day, we invented all your talking points. You shut the hell up. You're wrong. You slap you, child. And he's still talking to a 100-year-old vampire. Or even better, that guy got turned at like 40, but because Jasper's still like 200 years old, he still calls him a child. Oh my god, it'd be fucking great. It'd be fantastic. Like, that vampire's like is like balding, like he's got like no hair, and he's just sitting there talking about, I'm part of the superior race. And Jasper's just like, motherfucker, I invented half of your talking points, okay? Shut the hell up. When I'm telling you you're wrong, alright? I wrote the book that you're reciting, okay? Look here, you dumbass. I just love it. I love the idea of like a Jasper, like a woke Jasper. Aha! I'm no longer the villain of this story. I'm sorry.
I would love that. I would like Jasper if he had some kind of like recovery like that.
Like, and then like you literally walk into his room and it's just like, it's full. It's got a bookcase as big as mine, just full of like books from POC authors. And then
I'd love that.
people are just
Time
like,
to rewrite Twilight.
I know the internet's gonna be like, oh, this is great ideas. Oh my god, it'd be fantastic. And then like, come on, and then like in their room, it's like one like there's the bookshelf on there with all of the POC authors and LGBT authors and stuff like that. And then like on the other side, you see like Alice's altar with like all the witchy-roo stuff. And then he's like, you don't know that's real. And she's like, you don't know. We're vampires. It could be. Like that would be like the conversations they have. It'd be fantastic. And like Rosalie like rolls her eyes like, every time Alice asks her if she wants her to do a tarot reading. It'd be fantastic. I think Rosalie's one of the characters who needs like the least amount of character development. Because I feel like the movies really portray her well and give her like everything we need. Although
I gotta agree with that one.
Although I do, what's her name? Oh shit, I can't remember the mom's name now. Yzma? Oh damn it, what's her name again? What, you remember? Carlisle's part.
Renee?
Is that her name? I thought Renee was Bella's mom.
Oh wait, Renee and Esme. Esme's
okay.
the...
Esme, okay. Esme is her name. Yeah. Anyway, the point is like Carlisle's wife needs more of a backstory. And so does Carlisle.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
I think we need to age her up a little bit. Change her backstory a little bit. I don't remember I know she committed suicide, and that was the reason why like Carlisle tried to save her. But she was too young to technically be with him. Because she was intended to be a partner for Edward at first, wasn't she? Same as Alice?
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't remember that. Ew.
I can't remember.
I'm sorry, but his whole, like,
confusing Rose?
making people with the intention of matching them up is really gross to me.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I can't remember. Maybe
I
I'm
don't
also...
like it.
Or was that Rosalie? I know he didn't make
No,
Jasper...
I know Rosalie was
Yeah.
somebody she made for Edward, and I think that's really gross.
Yeah, but Rosalie and Edward just didn't click. I wonder if there was more of a story there too. Like honestly, like did they like try for a few years, like date or whatever, to try to figure out if we would like each other, to appease their adoptive parent, or did they like instantly go no, like you know what I mean? There could be more drama there. I'm just saying.
That would be interesting. I would like that, just to like see that where it's like
a drama, like them going on dates, and then her talking about how she hated the movie, and Edward's like, "Yeah, I totally hated that movie." And in the back of his mind, he was like, "Oh man, I really liked that movie. We do not have a damn thing in common." You know what I mean? Him having thoughts like that. Of course, he can read her mind, so he already knows all these things. So, of course, there could also be like an idea like where like Edward's thinking to himself, he's like, I can hear everything she's thinking. Why does my father think that I would get along with this woman? What the hell was he thinking? We don't even like anything. I'm over here trying to listen to classical music, and she's over here trying to blare this new jazz soundtrack. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's like the brainless stuff happening inside his head. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Or like, ooh, you know what? Rosalie is totally a Britney Spears stan.
ooh, I would see that one, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like she's totally like, you know what I mean? Oops, I did. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like you see her doing all the same dance moves right along with the music video in her bedroom. Tell me I'm wrong. I totally
I like that one.
Well, yeah. She's and she's into all sorts of pop music, like all of it. Like if it's pop, that's exactly where Rosalie's at. She's over there listening to K-pop too. She's doing dance moves. She's like, she also like was like NSYNC fan too. Oh my god, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic. We're just gonna like assign music to all of these people. Like, and some of it's gonna not be from their era, and that's gonna be the part that makes it interesting.
Well, I think that would work. Like, my mom likes a lot of stuff that isn't from, like, when she was a kid, and it's not just, like, Bible stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, yeah, I don't like a lot of stuff, but I like things like Billie Eilish, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I would have seen that.
I just think that, like, how funny
But
would that...
she likes it when I put that on, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, like, think about it. Like, from a character from, like, who's, like, Carlisle, right? So, like, the music he's used to is, like, folk music, you know what I mean? Or, like, Irish shanties and things like that. Like, that's going to be the music that Carlisle is from his timeline, right? But how interesting would it be if, like, his favorite stuff is Elvis? You know what I mean? Like, he's, like, a big Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson fan or something. Like, yeah, like, his playlist is 1 second is like, sitting there, oh, man, what's a popular one? It's gonna be a blue, blue, blue Christmas. And then the next line, it's like a Michael Jackson song. Smooth criminal. Like, that's Carlisle's playlist.
I love that.
He just like, and then when Carlisle's in the bathroom by himself listening to his own music, like in a shower or something, you just see him like doing it with in his towel with an invisible hat, doing the moonwalk. Oh man, I just made all the Twilight characters way more interesting with this. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I just made all the Twilight characters way more interesting. Talking about their music interest, like, literally, I'm just coming up with crazy shit. Like, but honestly, think about it. Like, if I actually did that stuff, like, that would be the most humanizing stuff, would it not? Like I just humanized these vampires and made them, like, normal people. With all the cool shit that, like, comes with it, like, you know what I mean? The only thing that I would do different with the vampires for Stephanie than what Stephanie came up with is I would have them, like, able to eat food and they don't have to throw it up. It just wouldn't do anything for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's kind of like what they did in Vampire Diaries, and I think that works way better.
Yeah, I like that. Like, it's like eating cotton candy. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
You know? It's just sugar. You
just can't survive off it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're just doing things like drinking hot coffee because it makes, like, your skin feel warmer, and I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. I think there's a lot that Vampire Diaries does a lot better than Twilight.
Daylight rings. That is actually a great invention, I think. Like, I know that Buffy the Vampire Slayer did it in first, or I don't think maybe they maybe didn't do it first, but I know that they were, like, the popular vampire show that did it before Vampire Diaries. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer, when they did a daylight ring, they called it the Ring of Amara, and it made the vampire invincible to all their weaknesses. So, like, as long as the vampire was wearing the ring, he couldn't be killed by, you know, stabbing him with a stake or, you know, sunlight. You couldn't kill him at all. Like, the only way I think you could kill him is if, like, you beheaded him, and that's only because his head was no longer attached to the ring. You know? But yeah, you get the idea. But, like, his head would be gone, but his body would still be alive. It's kind of weird, but you get the point that I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So, but they just said, okay, well, what if all that ring did was make it to where they just didn't die in the sunlight, so they could blend in with humans better? And then, of course, Vampire Diaries had a lot of really cool stories where they took the ring away from the vampire, and the vampires had to figure out how to work around not being able to walk in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Or it made for a really cool combat scenario where, like, a vampire would fight another vampire, and then he would win by taking their daylight ring away.
Yeah.
So
I would watch that.
Yeah. So it was like, you know, and truth be told, in a fight like that, what makes it more interesting, like, choreographically speaking, is because you have vampires, like, wrestling instead of, like, throwing punches and doing kung fu moves. It gives it more of it adds that element of realism to it. Because if you ever look, like, in a UFC fight, a lot of it is done in, like, wrestling style moves, you know? So Now you add the vampire powers to it, and you've got these two guys like wrestling on the ground, and they're like stupid strong, you know what I mean? So they're like breaking their fingers, but that's so they heal really fast, so their fingers are snapping back in place, you know? You know, you can have all these like weird, like really weird, like fight choreographed scenes that are literally like round and pound. They feel very real,
Mhm.
you know? Like when their fingers snap, the vampire like writhes in pain because he still has pain receptors. He's not like, you know, invincible, you know. And then like before his daylight ring can get taken away, he like, you know, punches the other vampire in the face, and that gives him enough time to wiggle his hand away and get his ring back on, you know, before the sun can get him. So it's like it just provides like it just to me it provides a more interesting like combat type scenario. The daylight ring, like you said, the Vampire Diaries daylight rings was an amazing invention for storytelling purposes.
I agree with that point for sure.
Well, we've been recording for 2.5 hours, so I think that it's time for us to cut this one.
Holy shoot, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Fucking H. No wonder I was thinking, man, I really have to pee.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, guys, if you've made it to the end of this podcast, I mean, my God, you guys are champions. We had a long one today. And nobody steal my vampire story, or I will sue you. Okay, there is video evidence.
You can't write my fan fiction on me.
Yeah, you can't write my fan fiction story now because it's on the internet. All right, I came up with this. All right, if you're gonna go ahead and write the book, you have to credit me. I call dibs. That's how that works, right? That's how copyright works. You just call dibs, right?
Hey, there's this whole thing about fan fiction. You don't have any rights.
Oh, shut
Sorry.
up.
I hate to bring this up to you, but
I feel like this is the same comment you make when you make that men don't deserve rights. I feel like this is what's happening here. I feel like this is the same vein, and I don't know if that's actual legal law. So I'm gonna have to mansplain to you why you're wrong.
I think in this case I'm right. It's not fair, but I'm right.
Shut up, Chris, and let me live my fantasies.
Too bad. You're gonna have to live with the fact that you're wrong.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm wrong. It's okay. All right. Well, if you guys made it to the end of the thing, like, subscribe. You know the drill.